Boom! I miss that song, man. Hello, guys. What's going on? How are you? I keep trying to put that boom part, when it just the drums come in and the song just starts to kick butt. That's the boom if you don't get it. Anyway, how you doing? Happy Sunday, Spunday. How is everyone out there? I see you. I see you all out there. Hey, hey. How's it going? Did you like the thumbnail tonight? I am the Walrus. Cuckoo, choo. Oh, I just been listening to last night. Thought I slept. Oh, right on, Marla. How you doing? Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's been crazy today. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It's been a little calm because I did get to relax a lot today, so that was pretty cool. We got Robbie coming. He'll be a few minutes. He went to pick up Scooter, so he's with Scooter, and let's see. And Rich, I believe, is coming on. So we'll see. I didn't get to talk to him too much. So, but he mentioned coming on, so we'll see. From the hey, 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 hi everybody, hi. One thing I do want to do, I'm going to do it in like 5 minutes. I know some of you guys, if you were here last night, or actually, let's just say last Tuesday, we were going to do a giveaway, and then I said we'd do it on Thursday. But Thursday we had the Real and Raw show, and it got late, and so I said I'd do it Saturday. Well, last night we were going, and we were starting to run late, and I said, "Whoa!" I said, "Okay, I have to do this giveaway." So I didn't get to do it till 1 o'clock in the morning. And I know a lot of you guys who are normally here early weren't here for that. So what I am going to do within the next 5 minutes is I am going to do a giveaway so that you guys have a chance to win something. Again, for you guys who do leave earlier, well, let's just say before midnight, and weren't there to enter to try and win the giveaway. So the hashtag is Spunday. Let me put that up so you guys can see it. And I will do another one if there's super chats and stuff too. Why is it not showing? Hold on. If there is super chats, 10 super chats, we'll do two of them. But oh, that's not the one I wanted to show. No, no, nope, that's not it. Hold on 1 second. Wrong. Wrong. Okay, share screen. Let's see. There it is. I got it. All right. So this is your hashtag for tonight. We'll do it in a few minutes. Get that Spunday in there. Hashtag Spunday, peeps. Um, yeah. So how was your weekend? I mean, mine was pretty good. Had a lot of fun. Uh, hey, Bonnie. Um, let's see. Bunch of stuff happening. There's a lot of people, in this whole saga going on. There's a bunch of stuff going on. Something I learned last night when I jumped off the live is there's someone out there that's putting out videos on Squat Pump who has already received cease and desist from me. So I guess that's why she's going after Squat Pump. But she's about to receive a lot from that side of things now too. She did put out a video on YouTube that she removed, and it was called "An Innocent Man Gets Arrested in the Villages." I want to point out that Shart, whatever you want to call her, doesn't live in Florida. She has no knowledge of living in the village from living in the village. She doesn't know any of these people. But she talks about it as if she knows. And what she talks about is, the joke of what people joke about here who actually live in the village. The people in the villages actually joke about this. And it was started by someone kind of as a joke, and people just ran with it. It was like the funniest thing. But she's literally acting, and so are all these other minions talking about the villages as if they live here and they have knowledge of living here. And they do not. So I just want to point that out. But what they're all doing, and they're following Megan's lead, is they're jumping over to Rumble because YouTube is removing their videos for privacy reasons or harassment or whatever it may be. And so they're getting pissed off about it. It's like, well, hello, stop harassing people on with the patterns you have of a constant harassment thing going on, and stop invading their privacy and posting their personal shit. And maybe you won't get your channel removed or struck or, violated. I don't know what to tell you, you know? Um, So is what's going on with Shara. So she removed the innocent man arrested in the villages because she's calling the man who was convicted of battering a squat pump at her mother innocent. Okay, she's calling him innocent, which is not true because he was reprimanded for it and served his punishment for that. He's still awaiting serving punishment for more. But he is on an ankle bracelet right now, and you don't do that to people who are innocent. Sorry. It's the same person, different type of battery, but still battery. So the woman's a moron, in my opinion. But now she's gone to Rumble, and she's put that up over there, thinking she's going to get away with it. All I can tell you is this. Why don't you ask Megan if she's had any videos removed from Rumble? Because she has. And so it's going to happen over there as well, not just for Shara, but for Tug if he pulls that crap, and also Shizzy. Because Shizzy seems to be following Megan's footsteps. And what he doesn't realize or maybe doesn't know is that she's had a video removed from Rumble. And she's about to get several more removed from Rumble. And being that he's posting the same exact things that she's doing and did, his are going to get removed too. Rumble takes a little longer, but it happens. And Shizzy is a little angry because he has posted a series of 16 videos, right, on his channel. 16. And I reported 14 of those videos. Actually, I think 15. And one of the videos has a lot of AI generated stuff in it, and you cannot do that either. But he had an argument with that. So he writes a song today because that one didn't get removed yet. And he writes a song today like, oh, you lose, you lose. And I'm thinking, how do I lose when 14 of your videos were removed? I didn't lose. I got your series shut down. Simple. And then he's going and putting it over on Rumble. Well, they'll be removed there too for the same exact reasons. Go read the content, not the content violation, the content policies on Rumble. Go read it. And then ask yourself, are you following any kind of pattern of harassment? Well, yes, you are. We've talked about public figures, who's a public figure or limited public figure. You cannot call me a public figure based on you and your channel's discussion of me making me a public figure and the pattern of the minions all around between you, Tug, Megan, and Hales. And it's proven. I've already got it proven. They mock people for drinking, yet they drink. They mock people for doing things, yet they smoke. He's sitting there putting ashtrays and stuff all in this generated AI thing of my garage, which actually has my shelves in it, actually has my logo and an animation of my logo, actually has a golf cart that's a wrong kind of loofah because everything he does is wrong anyway. But he's trying to mimic my garage. And he's trying to mimic my dog. He's trying to mimic my husband, Robbie, all of them. He's saying it doesn't matter really what's in the video. It's the stuff that he's saying, too. So it's like, dude, it's harassment. It's not satire. There's a time and a place. There is a line that you crossed and you did, that you can cross and you did in many, many ways. And it affects me, my husband, and our private lives, the things that you've said, the false accusations you've made, knowing that they're false, having no proof. Because trust me, I'm going to get you in court too. And I'm going to ask you to prove what you say. And you're not going to be able to. Because the only person with a lot of the proof of the things that you've said would be me. So there's no possible way that you have that proof. So get ready, Shizzy. But yeah, to me, it's like and not only that, he's copying Jay. It's like so weird because it's like Megan Jay copies me. The hipster, the hip shit, the brain dead one. I don't know. Um, but he copies me. He does a flea cap. Megan's going to do a flea cap, and now Shizzy's doing a flea cap. It's just that Megan and Shizzy aren't calling it a flea cap. Okay, so they're all copying me. Here's Robbie. Robbie,
Can't we hear it?
can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, she didn't pick up yet.
Hello.
Hello?
Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
No.
No.
You don't hear me? Okay. All right. How you
Hello,
doing?
everybody. Hello.
Get your hashtags in, guys. Spunday.
What are you doing?
I'm not doing shit.
No, her. She's doing hashtags already.
Yes, and I explained why. The reason why is because I said I was going to do one on Tuesday, right? And it ran too late. And then I said, well, we'll do it on Thursday. But Thursday was the Real and Raw show. So that ran really late. And I said, all right, we'll do it Saturday. But last night I almost forgot about it again. So I did do it, but it was really late. And I felt bad for the people who leave early, like by midnight. And so I said, you know what, we're just going to start off with one. That way they have a chance to get in it in case they missed it. Because I don't feel that was fair that I forgot about it 2 days in a row. So. Yeah, that was my fault. So get it? Got it? You understand?
That's that old timers kicking in.
Yeah. Shut up, Scoot.
She goes, yeah, shut up.
Yeah. I agree with you. I was like, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, anyway. So I was just saying how like Shizzy's upset that he got one video removed. And how they're all trying to copy over and run the Rumble thinking that they're not going to get removed over there. But they are. And Megan's already had a video removed. So she hasn't mentioned it, has she? I don't know. Maybe she hasn't told them, but they're all being removed. So anyhow, Shara, I was talking about Shara. That's what you missed too. I started off with that really. Shara keeps putting up stuff on Squat Pump, and I was just explaining how like she's talking about the villages, she's talking about people she doesn't know, she doesn't live here, she's not from here, she's not really a reporter, and Squat Pump isn't a public concern. Okay, but she's trying to make it. They're trying to make her public concern. If Squat Pump was public concern, she would have been on the news here, local news here, and she was not. But what was on the local news is something that came out, which I'm waiting for Jeannie for Squat Pump herself to talk about this. Because what was on the news was something that involves the people surrounding her and causing a lot of the problems, which includes the guy who battered her. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to show you who these people really are. And then you tell me how innocent the man that was arrested was or is.
Uh-oh. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. So, well, let's see. So, back to Shizzy, though. He did a video like he's doubling down, like we're doubling down, and we made a big mistake. The big mistake Shizzy made was copywriting my video tonight. Shizzy now aired part of my live from last night, and all he did was like speed up or slow down. No, I think he sped up the voices. Kim Sue, thank you so much. Shirt up with your neighbor. She can report back how great he is. Yeah. Anyway, he's literally. I just lost my page. Hold on. So last night he aired part of it and he sped the voices up. Speeding the voices up doesn't mean shit. You still copyrighted it. You're still playing it. Whether you are talking about it or not and giving your commentary doesn't really matter when you have a pattern of stalking my show, putting me up on your channel, using me for content. I mean, you just had 16 videos that I could still prove were up there. Okay? It's not going to work for you, Susie. And you know what's sad is your wife's supposedly a lawyer. How you think you're getting away with this is beyond me. These people are. I have a feeling their significant others are going to be really pissed off after they end up in lawsuits because it's going to affect them too because of the stupid shit that they're doing. This guy's like a nerd who may or may not know how to play guitar, who has them behind his head. Does he even play guitar? No. What is he doing, Robbie? He's going online and he's making these songs, and using AI to talk. Even his posts, he uses AI.
Really?
Yeah, he puts posts on Facebook and he uses AI to post those things. He can't even come up with like a post, a paragraph all on his own. But anyway, so yeah, so he copyrighted my live last night. He cringed on that. Like I said, changing voices don't say anything. He's doing legal commentary on like Leslie's filings and stuff. And he's lying about it. He's commentary and he's lying, and it's like, dude, Leslie's filings makes Shockett's motion moot. Don't you get it? The guy's like a dimwit. I just don't get it. There's reasons why things are filed the way they are. Like Shockett with his motion to strike was literally trying to delay the court, right? So what did Leslie do? She said, "Okay, fine." She goes, "Here, I refiled it. Your strike is moot. It's moot. Doesn't matter. It's gone. Now you can't delay the court." So she basically just stumped his ass and stopped him.
Number crackheads back there.
So and the fact that this guy's married to a lawyer and doesn't realize what happened and he's commenting, they're just following a narrative, and it tells his narrative. He just needs to remember in his commentary on you guys all who any of the trolls or anybody who's listening to him, between Megan, Tug, and Shizzy, and even Jay, and forget Coop. Coop's just like a dumbass. I mean, they all really are, but in my opinion, anyway. But here's the thing: when they're talking about and going over these motions and dockets and telling you things, and it's literally like, just go back to Fed 2. Remember Fed 2 and remember the stuff that they said, and know this: they lost, and they didn't just lose, with a dismissal. They lost with a dismissal with prejudice. Which means all their commentary, all their shit was wrong. For the most part. Until they started realizing it wasn't going to go in Jeremy's favor anyway. Okay? He was wrong. So, why am I still listening to them is beyond me. But that's their prerogative. I'm not going to tell you not to. But, Shizzy, a bit of advice for you. Don't follow what Megan does because you'll end up in the same boat that she's in. Cha-ching. Anyhow, so then, I don't know. I just think like what happens to these future channels because of between the harassment, some of the criminal charges, a few of them might be facing. What's going to happen to your channel?
Hang right.
Or channels on any platform, because trust me, if YouTube's removing it, so will Rumble. They have the same policies between community guidelines and their content policy. They're two different platforms, but they have the same thing. You cannot harass people on their platform. It's not a thing that's allowed.
At this light, hang on, wait,
and that's what's going on. So what's going to happen to your channels, the future of your channels and the platforms that you're on? You'll have no credibility, not that you have any now, but you may possibly not even have a channel. And you'll be paying off lawsuits left and right for what?
I don't get it.
Because you decided to talk about me? What, Robbie?
Who are all these people?
They're sheep.
Just, I don't know. In the words of Homer Simpson, you are so smart. You are so smart. SMRT. SMRT.
They're germ people.
They're sheeple.
That's all they are.
That's what I think of when I hear this crap. It's like, oh my god. So that's on those guys. What on earth is that? Hold on. Oh, okay.
She
Didn't know what that was.
coming
Didn't
to
know what that
slaughter.
was. Yeah. Where's Rich? I don't know.
Who
He
is
probably used
Rich?
to coming on like 10:30. Well, when he gets on, he usually comes on like 10:30 after I do like the germ stuff. I haven't even spoke about germ, but not that there's much to talk about. But either way,
I'll bet you one thing. There's no George.
there was no George.
Really?
There was no George. Yeah, I don't even think he really mentioned her, except for like when, like I don't know, talking about something they may have discussed one day. He didn't talk about like her having her mental break or anything. Yeah, it was quite boring. I actually missed like the first 12 minutes. I had to go back, and the only reason I really went back was because when I came onto his channel when he was live, he was talking about Leslie's and their court hearing on Tuesday. That's why I went back.
They have a court hearing Tuesday?
It's a case. Okay, this is what's funny. He was talking about Michelle's bankruptcy hearing the hearing from last week and how he's got a video or two that he's going to show, and and then he went back to say, well, on Tuesday he's got to be in court with Lips, right? So I'm like, okay, so we're still going to call her Lips, right? According to him, he's still calling her Lips, knowing he's going to court with her and everything else. And so, all right, so Tuesday is a court hearing. It's a case management hearing. It's a scheduling conference. That's it. That's it. Nothing spectacular is going to happen there. But what he did say was that Michael dipped out, right? Michael did not dip out. He's suing Leslie and Michael, and they're defending themselves, each individually. Okay, he's suing the both of them. So Leslie will be there, and so will Michael. That's it. It's a scheduling hearing. It's a scheduling conference. That's all it is. That's it. So, but he did say he was going to try and record, and that is a no-no. So
let me get this straight.
Yeah.
He tries to hook up with Michael's wife.
Yep.
Grabs her boobies, shows her his penis, and he's suing Michael.
Yep, that's what's alleged. Yep. And there's video proof of them at the storage unit. So, yeah, he's suing Michael.
Oh my goodness.
Michael has got a very strong case against every one of them, actually. Because Michael hasn't been on there. Michael was never a part of any of this. You know, he didn't have a channel at all. He was never a part of it. He jumped on Leslie's channel to do cooking, and that's what he was doing. You know what I mean? The cooking. You know, like, what did Michael do? You know what I mean? And it's like, for them to even try, and I believe they were suing Michael before they even did that cooking show. Because that wasn't that long ago. You know?
What's he suing Michael for?
No, I don't even know. I'd have to go back and look at it. You know, I mean, I just know like the recent stuff that's been, and it's all been about Leslie. It's not. There's nothing in. You know, there's nothing in it. Like they tried to file a thing against her being a vexatious litigant, and meanwhile, she's never had any judge, dismiss her case on the merits at all. She's voluntarily dismissed. She's a lawyer. They do that all the time. If you're suing, or she was a lawyer. I'm sorry, but that's what goes on. You know, and she's filed lawsuits. And if people settle out of court, you dismiss the case. That's it. It happens all the time. You know, so it's like for them to sit there and act like she's a vexatious litigant, she's not. No judge has ever dismissed her case based on the merits. But what happened with Jeremy is Jeremy has had 10 cases now. Yeah, is it 9 or 10? Well, let's just say 9 for sure. 9 cases dismissed for failure to state a claim. 9. 8 of them in Fed 2 for failure to state a claim. That's being dismissed based on the merits. So who's the vexatious litigant? And that's within the past, 9 months? Yeah. So she's filed the vexatious litigant thing on him. and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a hearing. It'll probably be heard at the same time, and there you go. So,
He's got
I
so
think
many
Jerem's
damn
just
court
jealous because Michael has a
cases.
better head of hair than him.
How does he keep up with what court cases, what day?
That's why they shot it.
Who, you mean Jerem? How does he keep up with it?
Yeah, he's got so many damn court cases.
Well, it was funny because the other night, or the other day, he was talking about the bankruptcy thing, and he said he didn't even know there was a bankruptcy hearing because he had no, or he didn't even know what it was for. He mentioned that in the video. I'm like, he doesn't no idea, no clue. The guy's probably got his head up his ass right now. He's wondering how to fix his channel and like humanize himself again because George is gone. I mean, he didn't even have he had 3,100 viewers tonight on his channel. He normally has double that, and he had 37 people watching from Facebook, the same amount as last week. Look, that's what happens when you do the things that you've done. Now it's karma's going to kick you in the butt. And to me, that's what it's doing.
George is gone, so that's going to drop his subscribers and everything.
Yeah, well, then maybe he should have treated her better. I can't say what he's done to her, because that's not my thing. But maybe he should have treated her better, and she might still be there.
Maybe he should have treated people better.
People, yeah. Well, it's funny. Tonight he did talk about how he's not a people person, and how being online is one thing, but offline is a totally different story. So he basically admitted how he's just one person here and one person there. And it's like, why are you phony? Like, why do you act differently than you do? I don't. I'm the same person.
Dude, he craves attention wherever he goes.
Well, it's like he's like, I'm just sitting alone, quiet when I'm not online. I'm like, yeah, you're calculating, dude. People have seen you and said so. But like, he's just. I mean, like you were saying that like when you went into the store with him, what would happen?
Oh God, I used to hate going into stores with him because he'd fall back a little bit and then walk up on me and go, "Oh my God, aren't you the guy from Swamp Brothers? You're the guy. You're that guy." And it's like, oh my God, dude, shut up.
Yeah, because he wanted people to come over to you guys. I mean, what's the whole? Don't you know who I am? He said something in one of his. Now I'm saying one of his videos because it was a recent live, and that could be anywhere within the past month because I did 4 of them at once. And he said something about how he stood out in Egypt and stuff. And remember, he was on the balloon, and he had said something along the lines like, "Don't you know who I am?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
He stood out in Egypt because he's a white guy and he's 6'2".
Right. I think he did say that though in the video that he stuck out because of who he was, and they kept asking him if he was a spy. I'm like, you really think they were asking him that? Like, I don't think so. So anyhow, so tonight he started off with. Let me just get to my notes on Jerem because I had something before that, but I guess I'll skip over it. So I guess as soon as I'm done with the health thing, we'll do the giveaway. Okay. I said I'll do it in 5 minutes, but being that Robbie's here and we went over this, we'll do it soon.
What was I thinking?
Anyhow, so we started off with this ABC song again, like the camp song, and he started saying how the most important woman in the world taught him that, which obviously would be his mother, right? And my thought in my head was just like, well, then why aren't you helping your mother now?
Why don't you talk to your mother?
Yeah. If she's the most important woman in the world, why aren't you helping her now? Wish I could help my mom, whatever she needed. So then he starts playing other songs, and because his whole thing tonight was about educating people, which, for the most part, I believe he did. That which is good. He should do shit like that. Like, he started off doing where he got all his fans from, But he threw a couple of things in there. And when he was doing the songs, he started playing songs that he sang to his kid, right? And his oldest, he couldn't remember the song, but started playing it, which was similar to like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? And then he turns around and brings up, and this is what I'm like, oh my God, you're so full of shit. Then he turns around and starts talking about his son and and when he starts to talk about him, he says that he based their songs off of their personalities and how his oldest daughter was more level-headed, business-minded, and that's how he came up with hers. Okay, but then that his son was chaotic and off the wall, and all of a sudden he starts singing. He goes, it took him a minute, and he goes, I want to be like Jason. I want to be like Jason. I'm like, you are so full of shit. So he's like, that's where you got that song from. I'm like, no, that's the quickest thing you could think of. Because when was the last time you played any of these songs to your kids? So you're going to use everybody knows the Guapo song for your son. And are you using that to hurt your son by saying, he's chaotic and off the wall? Or were you trying to throw a dig at Guapo? Like, which was that?
I doubt he ever played guitar for his kids.
Maybe
I don't know, but that was I was like, he's still got to be that out. No matter what, he's still got to open his mouth and throw that out there. I was like, wow, man, that's messed up, So eventually, he started talking about Michelle and the depot and when he's going to air this and that and about the bankruptcy case. Then that's when after that, he brought up Leslie's hearing and said that, Michael had dipped out, which is not true. Again, not true. It's a scheduling conference, and that's all it is. Also, he started calling people dumb. He started bragging about his life and how he can afford and has the freedom to jump off and go to Vietnam or go buy $1 million home.
Wait a minute, wasn't he just crying that he's poor, that he lost so much money?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But he's bragging about how he's got that. Trust me, I recorded it. I clipped that part right out. But yeah, he's bragging about how much money he's got and he can afford to do all these things and has the freedom and that his business is what makes it, makes it available to him and how he came from nothing, that he gave up everything in his divorce. And I'm thinking, really? Is that what really happened? Because he said he had to build from nothing. I'm like, really? That's funny because you stole, didn't you? According to your child, you stole $10,000 from each of your kids to get the home that he mentioned, that this home too, that Christian and Patience are living in, right? Then he starts saying that that his home that he's in now, it's in a family trust. No, it's not. Guys, look it up. Go look.
His family,
it is not in a family
himself,
trust.
and that's it.
Yeah, it's in a trust in his own name. Okay, his own name. All right, so that's not true. And then a couple minutes later, he shows the first house he ever bought and how he still owns it. And I'm like, so wait a minute. You bought this house at 19 years old. That's what he said. And he still owns that house. But somewhere in the middle of that, with the divorce and everything, you lost everything. Yet you still own that home. And still took $30,000 from your married. Yeah. I'm like, dude, do you not even realize how you just lied to everybody and they may not have even caught it? That's how so much stuff gets by. He just throws stuff out there and it just gets by and people don't catch, what he says. But anyway, so he's bragging about having money. He talked about going and looking at a home and finding out what this $1.3 million or $1.2 million home was actually going to cost, because the home was, or the property was left to a family of numerous children that had to all agree on the same price of this home. And whoever Dan is who he's talked to about that and finding out how much they actually want for it. That's on Kelly's Island. He always had a dream to live there, and blah 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 blah. And I'm saying, oh, okay, so you're so broke that you need people to send in money for your lawyer fees, yet you're going to go and buy a 1.2, or I think that you came back with a number, $1.1 million home. That's what you're doing. Is anybody like reading through the
Oh
bullshit that
my
he's
God.
doing? He very well may go buy a $1.1 million home, but if you think he's broke, you're so wrong, you know. And I mean, nobody who's broke can afford to buy something like that, you know. And if you have the money, hey, the more the merrier. Be happy, buy, invest it. You're supposed to do things like that. But when you're trying to ruin people's lives and you're trying to take them for every penny or every little asset or thing that they have in their life, especially knowing that they have not much at all, and you're ruining their lives, their reputation, causing emotional distress and all that stuff, and you think you're going to get away with it, keep buying those things. Because I'm pretty sure at some point, if you don't take care of your loss in the court system, you're going to end up losing those assets too. So, you know, spend your money. Doesn't matter what you spend it on. Buy the assets, buy the valuables. Doesn't matter. Um, so let's see. Um, what else did he say? He didn't. I mean, he actually talked about toxic women again, and because he got comments from people, I'm not watching your show no more. He says, and he's like, he starts saying how he meant certain toxic women, and then he throws out my name and Michelle. I think he threw out Michelle, but he brought up Leslie. He said, Felisa, Leslie, those are toxic women. That's who I'm talking about. Just because I put out a blanket statement, it doesn't mean everybody. I don't know you. You don't know me. I'm like, oh, but I thought everybody was in your life. You're recording your life all the time. It's your life, you know. He's talking about the toxic women that are in his life. Buddy, I am not in your life. I'm not in your life at all. I'm just talking the truth about the shit that you put out there. That's not in your life. Okay? You're the one who's trying to actually invade mine. But we can go tit for tat with that. That don't matter. But anyway, when he was making this statement, another statement tonight that he's calling a blanket statement, he tells them to get over it. The people that are mad about what he said last week, his
Why did you
viewers that
touch
may
me?
not be viewing him anymore,
Oh my God.
get over it, he said. Hi, Carrie. See what I wrote? I'm sorry, I haven't. When I make a blanket statement about a person, I'm referring to a person. Jeremy fails tonight's live stream at 51 minutes, 14 seconds. I'm seriously left my ass over calling other stuff. Yeah! I'm telling you. Um, but yeah, like he just, he says these things and then thinks it's okay. And then actually thinks that people aren't going to believe us that he calls everybody dumb. You know? He does. He said it tonight. He said if people don't understand the storage unit business, they're dumb. I'm like, did he really do that again? But he did. Um. Anyway. Oh, this is the part where he says he chose not to fight in his divorce, but yet he bragged about he likes the longevity thing, and he was in court with her for 14 years. So how is that, not fighting his divorce? Anyway, I mean, I don't care. It's just the things he said, and he's lying about it. You know, to me, that to me that's kind of personal business. But if you're gonna lie about it, dude, you can get so easily debunked. And Tug, by the way, wanted to debunk everybody today, but really didn't have any debunking he could do. So he went on to show things that Michelle was doing on her channel. So that was all part of him playing the victim and Germ, that is, playing the victim and rebuilding his life, and how he's able to now live in multiple states. Let's say. Anyway, he started asking for people's zip codes, where they live and stuff, and his whole thing ended up being about the rest of his show ended up being about storage auctions and how he does them, like where he goes on certain sites to buy the storage, like to bid on the storage auctions and stuff. Um, so he was telling how he does that, basically copying what Pirate did, a long time ago. Because Pirate Act did that. He showed how he did it. But anyway, so in this part of his show, he's actually educating people. You know, which remember he was trying to do that a long time ago, or was doing it, trying to educate people with YouTube and stuff,
Yeah.
um, as well as doing the storage units. So yeah, so he was doing that tonight. Good, you're not trying to harass people, but he still threw in digs during it. That he was actually showing one of the auction sites while he was talking about the toxic women thing. And another part of it, he talked about uh, what was it? There was something else that he talked about during that. So he's like interrupting his education on buying, or bidding on storage auctions while he's profiling these storage units, and just starts throwing those digs out there. I was like, oh my god, man, he still can't stop. Somebody asked him why he wasn't wearing the flea shirt, and he said because it was dirty. Wow, they're even noticing. It's kind of funny. But other than that, that's what he was doing. That's pretty much all he did. You know. Uh, so yeah. He did talk about one of the reasons why he doesn't go to the storage units themselves anymore for the live auctions, at the facilities, is because from the people who he taught how to do YouTube and storage auctions, that they were getting in his way. Because there'd be cameras, they'd have their cameras out, and it'd become annoying. I'm like, oh my god. I don't know who he was referring to on that one, but that's what he said. He did talk about being in Florida for Michelle's deposition. I don't know when that is. But he did talk about how on like these sites like Storage Treasures, which I know all about, .com and LockerFox, and there was a couple other ones that he mentioned. But he was saying that there's thousands and thousands of storage units that he goes through monthly. And I'm thinking, there is not thousands and thousands of storage units in Ohio and Florida that he goes through. They don't have that many on there. You'd be lucky if there's hundreds. There's not thousands and thousands. But it's just like the exaggeration is just hilarious. But yeah, so that's it, pretty much, for the Jeremy tonight. I didn't think he was going to give up much anyway. He's trying to hold his tongue. But he can't. So little by little, he's just adding more. I wouldn't trust him educated about that.
Has he mentioned anything about his case with Richard?
No. Nope. Not that I saw anyway. Not tonight. I don't watch his everyday shows, like the daily ones anymore. I don't watch them. Although I did watch the ones where he had the birds, and that one I did recently watch. But I watched the depot, the bankruptcy one the other day.
He had birds.
Yeah, he actually removed a robin's nest. Twice. And he took the babies out of the nest. Yeah, bad.
There were babies in it?
They were babies, yeah. And he picked them out, and one flew away, and one started running around. He caught one and put it back in the nest. I don't know what happened to it after that. But it's 2 different days, 2 different videos. He showed it. He showed one the first time where there were 3 babies in the nest, and then he put it back. And then the next day, it was probably all recorded the same day, but he went back to the nest, moved it again, was holding it, showing it on camera, and there was only 2 babies in there. And he went to lift one up, and one flew out, and the other one jumped out and was running across the ground. he went and caught that one and put it back in the nest. He showed him putting it back in the nest, and then he put the nest back up where it was, and it's like, let's go, let's run, Christian. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're not supposed to be doing that. And what's sad about it, so I'm just going to point this out because it was pointed out to me, is that when he's doing things like this, it's dangerous because you're not supposed to do that. And as you know, ages ago, his channel used to be a family channel. You could be seeing people, kids or any adult that doesn't know, and they believe what he's
robins
doing.
are protected under the Migratory Bird Act.
Yeah, yeah. But people are seeing what he's doing, and they're listening to the shit he's spewing and thinking it's okay. So if they had a nest at their house, are they going to try and do that too? And it's not okay to do that. It is not okay to do that. You know, Gabe was even saying the other day, like, because Gabe does trees and stuff. He finds nests all the time, and he'll tell a client, "Look, I can't touch that. When that nest leaves, I'll come back and I'll trim that side of it or whatever. But I can't do that. You know." But yeah, he's just going in there like it's no big deal. And he's giving off the wrong impression that it's okay to do that, and it leaves people to think that they can too, and it's wrong. It's a direct violation of the Migratory Bird Treaty Act. It's a federal crime. Yep, that's what Terry said. Hold on, I'm gonna highlight that. There it is. What? I almost lost it. There it
Who
is.
said that?
Terry.
Silverstone?
Yep.
Terry, look up on the Migratory Bird Act. I'm not sure on this, but I think robins are part of that.
I believe they are. Because last week when they came up in the chat and I didn't know about the video, I actually went and looked at it afterwards, and it did say that you can't remove them like that. Because at first it came to me like it was peacocks, right? That's what I first heard based off the chat. So I went and watched it, and it turns out it was robins. So I looked up both peacocks and robins.
Peacocks you can do it with. Robins
Yeah.
you cannot.
Actually, I have to say, it says no, you should not move the nest with the peacocks.
Yeah, it says
But if you own
not.
the property and they're domestic, it's different. Yeah. I mean, we go, yes, they are. It's highly illegal to do that. It's deadly to the birds. Yeah, because you're moving the birds from the mom. The mom may shun them and never go back and feed them.
You put your scent on them, the mom will abandon them.
Yeah. So that was terrible for him to do that. And you know what amazes me though? He's told in various ways by different people, by comments, that what he did was wrong, and he still leaves it up. But yet last Sunday, when he had a video up of him moving to Vietnam, talking about avoiding being served paperwork for lawsuits, talking about how him and George are going to be served, finding all these different things. I mean, he said it so many times, joking or not. He realized, probably after watching my show, that he proved he was a flight risk. Bragging about how he's got all this money to go all these places. And then, not only that, it wasn't just that. He was talking about toxic women. He was talking about God and family and how, the women have dehumanized men. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, he said so much shit in that live, but he went and removed that, because that's what his viewers care about. He don't care about breaking the law. He thinks no one's going to touch me. Well, he's wrong. He's absolutely wrong. And all this harassment that he's been doing with me, I literally found out today. Remember when he fraudulently complained and put a UPL out on me for unclaimed practice of law?
Yeah.
Because there's a pattern of harassment, that gets thrown as evidence right in there too. Legally, it's evidence. I was like, don't. Okay. So, let's see. Additionally, you are legally prohibited from disturbing or destroying any robin's nest that contains eggs or chicks.
I thought so. I thought they were migratory.
Both robins are considered protected.
Yeah.
You're a
Breaking the
Lord.
law. Breaking the law.
in the U.S.
Yep.
Who sang?
And a
Judas
message.
Priest.
Wow, we missed it.
What?
Is Rich in here? Is Rich, you see anybody see Rich? Oh my god. Ugh. I've been doing crazy shit like this all week. Okay, so I composed an email for Rich with the link, but guess what I didn't do?
You didn't put the link.
No, I put the link. I didn't hit
What?
send.
Oh
It's on my
my
other
God.
screen, right in my face.
That's that
I'm
old
not-
timers kicking in again.
right in my
Timers.
face. Yep. Unbelievable. Terry, what? Hold on. There we go. Lisa. So Terry says, I encourage all who care to report. It's a federal crime. I report it to federal wildlife and Ohio wildlife. Lisa, you got to sing the 250th birthday song for the United States before it's midnight. The 250th birthday song for the flag? I'm not singing that. I will sing Happy Birthday to you. Happy birthday. There you go. I'm not singing that song. Robbie, you sing it.
What?
The 250 birthday song.
What's the 250 birthdays?
I don't know. I just sang Happy Birthday for 250. The United States is 250 years old. It's Flag Day.
That's today?
Yeah, June 14th. Flag
It's not-
Day.
No, it is a 14th.
We all will answer to our deed at the end of this ride. No one gets away with it. That's true. That is true, Carrie. All right. So right now, I'm going to right now we have a giveaway we're doing. If we get 9 more, we have 9 more, and that includes super chats on YouTube or Kofi. Guys, send them Kofi's in, and we'll do another giveaway. But right now, if you have the hashtag Spunday in, we are going to do a jar, right? For all the
Do
peeps
it.
who may have missed last night's. So let's see. Let me just remove everything. Let me get to the screen. All right, guys, there's 105 entries. Wow. All right, are we ready? Get him in there. Get him in there. By Jeremy to keep talking about toxic women, he's going to say Martha was toxic and that's why he got rid of her. Yep, eventually. And I don't think he got rid of her. I think she got rid of him. But that's just my opinion. And we may never know. She may never come out and say anything. So, who knows? 4th of July is U.S. birthday. That's what I thought. But Flag Day is hold on. Hold please.
I thought 4th of July was.
Yeah, hold on.
That's Independence Day.
Either way, happy birthday. It's Flag Day.
That's America's birthday.
Yeah. Today is flag. I think today was Flag Day.
Flag Day.
Hold on. It's the birthday of the flag. It's a holiday in the United States that celebrates the adoption of the flag. Yeah, it's the birthday of the
Right.
flag.
That's not 250 years old.
The date marks
That's
the anniversary of the Second
249.
Continental. It marks the anniversary of the Second Continental Congress's decision in 1777 to adopt the Stars and Stripes as the national flag.
But
It isn't.
249.
Well, it doesn't actually say, but I guess 1777. Is that 49?
249. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 249. Okay, so it's not 250. Maybe Beardy was rounding it off. I'm not sure. But 4th of July is the birthday of the United States, I believe. Yeah.
Right.
But it's
That's
the
Independence
flag's
Day.
birthday. Yeah, it's the flag's birthday. So
But the
happy
flag is
birthday.
only 249 years old.
Yes.
Yeah, not 250. So anyway,
Yes, change.
I knew it was a birthday. But July 4th was what I thought was America's birthday.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the flag
these
has
years.
changed many times over because of the amount of stars or the states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably still be. But yeah, no, I always thought July 4th was, America's birthday.
It is.
It
But
is.
Independence Day.
That's why I was like,
That's where the
Yeah.
1776 comes from.
Yep. 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 So the flag is 1 year older.
Yes.
Yeah.
1 year younger.
1 year younger.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, correct. Younger. It would be younger.
Yeah, because we have
So
the flag was introduced a year later.
77. Yeah, 77. So
Actually,
anyway.
11 months.
76, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
1776
draw.
was
Yeah,
the independence, 4th of July,
right.
and then the flag
Are we ready? 3,
was brought in
2,
around 11 months later.
1. Here we go. Where's my mouse? I lost my mouse. You gotta be kidding me. All right, there we go. Draw. Boom. Oh my God. Carrie, John, jeez, Kim, John Cook, Connie, Ernie, Michelle, Nan, Britta, Bryn, Denise Rand. Denise, that's in your name. Congratulations.
Denise ran.
Denise Rand, 5'11".
Where'd Denise run to?
I don't know. Denise Rand, FT 511. No, I did not, Ren. Congratulations, Denise. Congratulations. Congratulations. Because I've never seen that name before, if you can, please send me your shipping address to the email running across the bottom of the screen. It's twoleadspod@gmail.com, and we will send you your giveaway. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right, so Denise, right now, Rand, please. That's what it looks like to me. 5'11". Denise Rand is just 5'11". Looks like to me. That's what I'm getting out of her name. I'm probably wrong. I don't know, but congratulations, Denise. All right, so we will do another one if we get a total of 9. Is it 9? Yeah, 9 more giveaways for tonight. We'll do another. What, Robbie?
It's Rich.
She said she gonna do 9 more giveaways.
Yeah, not giveaways, 9 more super chats.
Did I say 9 more giveaways?
Yes,
I was putting that away.
dyslexia.
9 more supers or Kobe's. 9 more
They
supers.
do make medication for that.
No, actually, you know what's going on? My ears are popped because of the humidity. And when I had my head turned, I wasn't looking. I was just putting it away. And I was putting it in my giveaways folder. I was looking for my giveaways folder. That's why I set up. So, shut up. Everybody knew what I meant. Sorry. What's going on? Well, hell, I'm going to bed since I'm up early tomorrow and didn't win. I'm sorry. Told y'all I'm going to have a visitor again this week. I'm being invaded. Being invaded.
Invasion.
Invasion coming. Barbie, can you see the screen?
No, I'm driving. Scott can.
I love these thumbnails. Did you see the thumbnail before the show started? Dolores.
Yes. Because I had to ask him which live it was because you had a members only up and coming.
Oh yeah, I leave that up in case they strike me and I can't get on YouTube to tell anybody anything. That they know to go to that video and they'll see, the chat because the chat works, so they'll know. Go to Rumble or whatever. That's a just in case. It's like a a statement. Anyway, guys, I also put up a post today to just let me know if you have ideas or anything that you want to see in any upcoming videos or live streams. Just type it in the comment over on the community post because I'll see them. I see all of them.
Did you see my short video today where I got chased by Chase?
No.
I was about to watch it and you showed up at the house.
That sneaky little fucker chased me again.
He chased you?
Yeah.
It's not the first time and it won't be the last.
Chase always chased me. That's how he got his name.
Oh my goodness. How close did he get?
10, 11 feet.
I think last time he
Wow.
got closer.
No, this time he got closer. He snuck up. Yeah.
Oh, he snuck up on it.
Yeah. Well, he came up to the edge, and I thought he was just going to sit there, and then he just started coming running.
Oh, Jesus.
I was
Oh
like,
man,
dude.
man, that's crazy. I'd show it, but you know what? Go watch it on Robbie's channel. Let me get a link. Hold on, I got a link. You can watch the short. Where is it?
It's over there.
It's there somewhere. Hold on.
Check his shorts.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. Get swamped.
I think Tori just put it up.
Oh, did she? Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Guys, check out Robbie's short on there. Go to the link. That way he gets.
I went in there to film all the birds. There's so many more birds this year. Every year there's more and more and more.
Yeah. I have a lot of birds outside.
Oh, you haven't seen a lot. This puts Alfred Hitchcock's The
No.
Birds to shame.
I know. I'm just trying to say though. I mean, I have a lot more birds here than I normally do. You know, a lot
Yeah.
more. Yeah,
Going
and all
after the good meat.
From what?
all different
Some,
kinds of birds. I want to get my bird feeder on the live cam so you guys can see it.
Tease Gems
Geez, yeah.
is going after the good meat.
Yeah. That little sneaky fucker.
He is too.
He comes up like he's just coming up to say hi. Then he just starts chasing you.
All right, so that's whoa, that's probably why Richard wasn't in here at first, but I don't see him in the chat either. So I don't know, but yeah, I told him I'd send him a link, and then it's been sitting here waiting for me to hit send this whole time. I'm making a Space Cadet. Oh my God! Look at Rooster Gabe. Wow. Hold on, let me show you guys. Rooster Gabe. He's gonna be so proud. Where is it? Where'd it go? There it is. Have you guys all seen Rooster Gabe? Let's see. Stop screen, add screen. Look at Rooster Gabe. And apparently he's been a little busy because Hen Lisa is. Where is Rin? Is Rin here? Is there babies yet? Did I notice George in the thumbnail tonight? No, I didn't, because like I said, I saw the live. I got there like, I don't know, 15 minutes into it. And when it ended, I went back just to see, because when I came on, he was talking about Leslie's case, which wasn't long at all. So when I went back to listen to the beginning of it, I'm like, oh, well, that was fine. I still just couldn't believe that he was trying to say his son's song was the Guapo song. It's ridiculous. But I did not notice. Shut up, John Caps. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I know Richard could pop on at any time. We never know. But that would have been my fault, because I did not.
Just text him and tell him you sent a link.
Yeah. All right, hold on. One sec. I know he was doing something. I told him I would send him the link. I don't know, maybe he didn't get it. Like my message. Because I don't know when he actually. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, I answered him right away. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But either way, I didn't hit send. So, and normally he'd come in here anyway into the chat, and and say, "You got a link or whatever." Either way. So, what was the other thing that happened today? Oh, freaking Tug. So, um, Tug did a live today. He always goes live before Jeremy and then sends his people over to Jeremy. They raid. And the Tug, I caught it at the very end because I thought it was over and I wanted to download it. So I had to wait. And basically, his kids were there. When he goes to the super chats, that's what he does, is brings his kids around and everybody sends more super chats. So his kids were in there when he was doing that. Go figure. But he was like, so I went through just to see what he was showing, because if he was showing anything of mine, obviously I want to save it, right? But he was showing, the documents that Leslie's filed. And when he talks about things, he's always changing words and lying about something that is public record, and and even though it's in your face, okay, you're lying about it. Right, there's public record right there, and you're lying to the people, to your viewers, and he has sometimes 1, 2, even 3,000 people watching his show live, and he's literally lying about what's on the record, what he's reading. He's totally interpreting it wrong on purpose. Who knows? But it's a lie. It's false. You know. So of course he was doing that, as he always does. But the record's right there. It's in your face, and is that considered defamation? So he likes to AI, right? So defamation involves false statements of fact that harm someone's reputation. Opinions, even nasty, are generally protected. But if someone states as a fact that this lawyer is papering the court, and that implies unethical or illegal conduct, and it's not true, it could be seen as defamatory. So if the statement is clearly opinion or hyperbole, it's less likely to qualify as defamation. Also, if the commentary is about public records, like court documents, courts often give more leeway for public discussion unless there is actual malice or reckless disregard for the truth. And he has a pattern of doing this, especially to Leslie. So the context matters, If people make the claims are deliberately misrepresenting the docket to harm the lawyer's reputation, and especially if they're doing so as part of a larger campaign of harassment, there could be legal exposure. And if these are isolated comments, or if they're merely just expressing critical opinion, it may rise to the level of harassment. So that's just it, guys. It's literally like, if it's just like a one-off, or Tug is biased, and it's a pattern of harassment, and that's where when he says
we're pulling into the farm, so if I lose you, we'll come back on.
Okay. So that's where it falls under defamation, and he's laughing, saying, "Yeah, okay, that's not true, and that's so wrong, and blah blah blah." But no, clearly that's exactly it. I just read it. So, and that's what they're doing, guys. It's all harassment, any which way. Let them start talking about somebody new, and see if they start harassing people. You don't know, because all they do is harass the people that have been involved. Anyway, so we did that, and then okay. So he admitted he wanted to debunk people, but that wasn't on today's show, and the reason is he can't debunk anybody. He didn't basically have time to create the lies or whatever, or think of more things. Hey, why not? It's Sunday, right? Everybody takes a day off. Anyway, so Tug also, and this is what I wanted to get to. Tug also spoke of how angry he is. Whoa, you all right?
Yeah, we're fine.
We're fine.
Okay.
Are you all right?
I just heard a big noise.
No, it's the keys.
Oh, okay. Strictly, thank you so much, hon. Boop boop. New donation from Kobe. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Um, so yeah, so today was he was talking about how angry he is and how he's been in court, a couple years ago, or his past court um, his court issues have left him angry, and he's been holding on to all this anger. Is that why you're harassing people? I don't know, but he's been holding on. He was really stupid to make this statement for several reasons, but but he's been holding on to this anger, fully knowing that it's not healthy, and and he's threatening me, telling me, "Come on, two leaves, bring it. I can't wait to wreck you." I'm like, dude, you've been wrecking me for over a year already. You know what I mean? It's just now you're going to be held accountable. But he was going on about me. He was going on about Leslie, basically telling us bring it, and but was saying how he's holding on to all this anger, and I thought that was pretty interesting. And of course, anger and rage, and then he started saying how Megan was the target and how that's so wrong. Like Megan's done nothing wrong. It's like, yeah, she did. How can you try to act so smart and cannot comprehend copyright law? It's plain and simple. Plain and simple. You can't go, if ABC is airing the Super Bowl, NBC cannot go and air it. It's just that simple. Now, is that a crazy analogy? You may think so because, of course, my members only shows are not the Super Bowl. But that's the only way I can try and make him understand, or anybody who doesn't get it. If you air something that people come and pay to see, and that includes even if it's aired on ABC and most people get to see it for free. Yeah, it's not the same thing. Okay, someone's making money, and if it's aired on another channel, someone's not making money. Okay, and I don't know how else to explain it to you, but Megan did the same thing. It's like piracy, bootlegging. It's the same thing. It is not fair use when it's behind a paywall. That's absolutely not true. So you are wrong. And he's like, they're suing Megan because they think Megan's weak. No, we're suing Megan because Megan's a dumbass to have done what she did. It's that simple. You can't defend that. She's wrong. She does it all the time, and this time she thought she was going to get away with it, and she's not. And because of what she did, I'm able to show a court her pattern of behavior and how many times she's actually copyrighted me without being behind a paywall. And they're going to see it. So, yeah, cha-ching. And if Shizzy wants to play the same game, Shizzy's going to end up in the same shit. And you can't even use derivatives, Tug, and that's what you've done. Okay, behind that same paywall. So keep talking like you know what's going on. You can sit there and think nothing's going to happen, but get ready. Grab those breadsticks while you can. And as far as talking about who's making what money and all that stuff, I believe that Playboard shows income on a channel from its creation. I don't believe it's like monthly stats, or at least the stats that were stated. I don't believe those are monthly or a couple months stats. I think that that's actually how much has been made during the course of the channel from the day it started to now, to whatever you're looking at the report. Because he made some kind of mention about that. That's what I believe anyway. I don't believe it's like 3 months or whatever, because if he's making anything between his views and super chats, it's a lot of money. I mean, he's making over 10 grand. So is Megan a month, but he's not making 100 grand a month in super chats. I mean, you could look to even see that if you wanted to. But either way, and I can base that off of what I make. Because, if you look at how many subscribers I have and what my YouTube, and I don't get, I get super chats, but I don't get it like they do. And that's fine. But I'm just saying, if I based what I make off of how many subscribers and how many views I have, okay, and then you look at his views or her views, you can pretty much figure out they're making at least this amount of money. So I can tell you right now, he's making over 10 grand. And Germ's making even more. But I do think that Megan and Tud come really close to each other with their views. But either way, it doesn't matter because it's all going to come out in court. So, but anyway, so That's the tug part today. I was gonna start with all that and get into germ, but I kind of went over it in a different order. So anyhow, so who's all here? Let me actually see. Hi Tease, hi Connie Sue. Seem tug pull, but I don't think it's Megan. Yeah, Megan to me, she's like foolish. I really think they're leaving her out to dry because Jeremy won't show those body cam videos on his. Why is that? Why is that? Why did he give it to them to show? And Tug ain't showing them because Jeremy knows what YouTube will do. And he knows what the possibility that Rumble will do as well. Now, Megan just found out because Megan had her video removed already. Okay? And they're getting ready to remove more. And I can tell you how I know that because I know what I reported and I know how I reported it, which is the same way the other one got reported. So, sorry, Meg. Not sorry. And then what's going to happen is now that Shizzy's going over there to do that, I'm just going to do it to Shizzy too. And then I'm going to show the pattern of behavior between all the conspirators. And it's Megan, Tug, Shizzy, and Shara, and Jerem. So, and like I said, it's all proven. It's all proven. So, let's see. Jerem knows it's wrong, or he would show them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's surprised that the privacy complaints that he got were removed. But they were because they were on a post. Well, he also just got a privacy complaint about his birthday video because he used the same image on the post in the birthday video. So that was pretty foolish of him. And I would have forgotten all about it, to be honest with you. But something else drew me back to that video where I had to show the sheriffs. And then I said, oh, and look at that. I said, you know what? There's that picture again. I guess I should make this a privacy complaint. Because he's not allowed to do that. So, anyway, read your YouTube guidelines, your community guidelines. That's all I can tell you. They broke the guidelines. They can piss and moan saying it's free speech or whatever they want. They still broke the guidelines. What's up? Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Dirty deeds. I just wonder if they'll ever do it again. That's so cool. Oh, I don't know what you're meaning there. Hey, Hannah. So who else is here? Let me see. Let me see. Are we gonna do another giveaway? Let's see. I see T's really hot. We know Terry's here. It's on cap. Yeah. Jackie Ridge, Monica. Hello. Helen. There's Helen. Gabe was looking for you last night, Helen. Miss Lori. I saw Miss Lori before. Oh, hey, Sandman. Sandman's there. Mo Magic. Bobby, hello. Ann, what's going on? Hey, Ann. How is Squaw Pump? Squaw Pump will be coming home in a few days. Free speech rule do not apply to YouTube. YouTube is not the government. No, actually, when it comes to fair use, YouTube, because that's what they're claiming, that's how they use their First Amendment free speech bullshit. YouTube cannot decide what fair use is. Only a judge can. Ed, why are you mentioned in the Facebook post? Just out of curiosity. I'm just curious. You're mentioned in the Facebook post on some post that had something to do with Gabe. Marla, hey. Hey, GR. Little bit. I don't do it as good as Gabe, sorry, but I want to say, oh, Big Ray's here. Hello. Who? Ed. It was under Ed Tang. It was calling out Ed Tang. Isn't that you? Mary Kay, hey. I thought that was you. Yeah, so Squawk Pump will be coming home on Friday. Yeah. Hi, Joy. Hello. Yep, she'll be coming back on Friday. I'm really excited to see her. She's excited. She's been doing a lot of stuff. She sounds great. She really does. Mo Magic. Well, Magic. Thank you, Mo. Mo sent the coffee. Whoop whoop. I've been calling out them on the hate group. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's why. Okay, I was wondering why you were mentioned on that post. It's gone. That post is gone, but um, I was just wondering. Lucy got some explaining to do. Hey, Megan, how are you? Lisa tell Gina to. Oh, I will absolutely. She wanted me to say thank you again. And Gabe always looks for you. they loved the cards that you gave them. Uh, I think they referred to you and they tagged you in it, and I just happened to see your name. I'm like, what is Ed doing in here? So I guess maybe you had said something. It sounded like they were trying to prove something to you in regards to Gabe. I don't know, but either way, it's harassment. So I irritate them on Facebook with sprinkles of love and stuff. You do. um, let's see. Let's see. Friday morning, I go to have MRCP done again. Oh, well, I hope everything works out, Mary. They always harass me and try and insult and demean me. That's what they do. That's all they do. There's actually, I showed it the other night. There's a group called Hags for Humanity, and this woman Renee. And oddly enough, I saw a post of Kathy Criswell. You know, the Book of Faces hater. Um, Literally trying to stand up for calling this woman her friend, right? And I'm like, are you serious right now? This woman's exploiting Harley. She's posting videos of Harley. Are you kidding? You don't do that. You do not post images of someone's child. Period. Period. I don't care what the reason is. Period. That's exploiting a child that's not your own, and no parent should be exploiting that child either. But that's up to them. Whatever you know. And I don't mean like exploitation, because some people have their children. They do have like a family YouTube or family TikTok and things like that. I know there's a lot of them out there. So I'm not talking about that. I'm literally talking about some woman who, you know, likes to dress up and do things, but is into Disney. She's always wearing a lot of Disney stuff, but that's going around exploiting, children. You don't do that. That's not your child. You know. And here's the thing: there's not a lot of pictures and stuff from Christmas. I believe that video came off of Thomas Collins' video, if I remember correctly. But there's not a lot of video because of what they were doing with Harley and her pictures. So we didn't post them. And that's kind of sad because a lot of people who sent in gifts for Harley Jolly Christmas, they didn't get to see her enjoy a lot of it. We did do a live, um, but it was short. It was also dark. I should have had a cameraman there. And thank you, Scampy Girl. Thank you, another Kofi. Whoop whoop. Um, Thank you so much. I changed it so that we could see the messages on here. So I don't know if there's any messages on there, but they're not showing. If you did put a message, I don't know why. It should have worked. I'm gonna have to have Tori tell me because I thought I found it and did it right last night. But and there's nope. Let me scroll. Hold on. Um, and like a 2-year-old throwing a fit. Yeah. Oh, did you see the episode the other day where Jeremy and Christian are going to one of the storage lockers that he brought home and he found a little plastic gator and threw it down? No, I didn't. Like a 2-year-old. Okay, so I got you. That's what you meant. New donation from Helen for Humanity. Thank you so much. So that's the message. Okay, so it is working. Awesome. Thank you, Helen. Whoop whoop. Um, Actually, instead of going whoop whoop, I should go woohoo. Because we got the woohoos over here. Um, I completely ignored your question. Not on purpose, Julie. I didn't see it. Let me go back. Hold on. Sometimes I can't go back that far. Um, you could always repost it, hon. Julie's heart. Where is it? I see a thinking emoji. Let me see. That's too far back. Hold on. Julie's heart. Have you actually filed the papers to sue, or are you going? I'm going to. A couple of things had to be done before that. I put that in the name part. Okay. Oh, no message. Okay, so then maybe it's not working. Okay. Hey, Ernie. Hey, hey, hey. Uh, let's see. Let's see. So yeah. So anyway, so this girl was exploiting Harley, and what I was saying was a lot of people didn't get to um, see pictures or posts because I didn't post any because of what they were doing. They were using the pictures, they were posting all over Facebook, they were literally harassing her and exploiting her. So we didn't show that, and then I think it's sad because a lot of people who sent in gifts wanted to see Harley opening them and enjoying them, which we did show. But there was a lot more, and we could have shown more, and we had to just keep it back. I was going to show the videos and stuff, and we ended up not showing it. Um, but it was wonderful. It was great. It was huge, and it's just sad that a lot of people didn't get to see some of the things that they wanted to see. Um, so for her to just turn around and post a video of one of the ones that exist out there and just start and then mocking her health and why she's not wearing a mask and all that. First of all, she was outside and away from a lot of people. There was a lot of people standing away from her, by the way. And these are all people who had been around her as of recently. So, y'all just need to shut your mouth. You don't know, it's none of your business. And this Renee Ann person, why a year over, well over a year, almost going on 2 years now. It's a year and a half. Okay, why are you going to say and do anything like that a year and a half later? Shut up. Just shut up. And I mean, when you look at who's posting and saying these things, I think you have other things you really need to concern yourself with rather than somebody else. Mind your own business, because maybe Disney needs to know that you're exploiting children like that. That's not right. If you see a little girl walking around Disney when you're visiting, and you just, I don't know, think she's wearing the wrong dress, or doesn't have the right Mickey Mouse cap on her head, the wrong ears she's showing, or you don't like them, are you going to start exploiting her too? It's stupid shit. Keep children out. You want to play games like that and act like a fucking teenager? You keep children out. You should know. Keep children out of your shit. Don't use children. You don't use them for anything. For your posts to grab attention. You don't use them for grifting, your super chats. You don't use children. That's it. You don't do that. You want to help a child? You want to, put a list up for Christmas presents for them so people can buy and send gifts from Amazon, things like that. That's different. That's not even fundraising. That's literally helping and being part and getting a Christmas gift for a child. You know what I'm saying? That's totally different. You can't even compare that. You're exposing a little girl who at the time had just turned 6 years old. No, 5. She had just turned 5. A little 5-year-old girl. Because you think something that Jeremy Hale said is true about her.
You got the
Shut
Keisha.
up. Shut up. Grow up. Get a life, actually. Because that's not one. I'm sorry. I don't like when anybody goes after Harley and attacks Harley at all. Or her parents. Her parents love her so much. Kathy Earls, thank you so much. Whoop whoop. Woohoo. Another Kofi donation. How many we got? Let's see, because we might have 10 for another giveaway. Let's see. So we have one over here. Let's look at Kofi. Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a total of 6. We need 4 more. 4 more rocks it. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. But yeah, so I think East Patch was saying that out of sympathy for Jeannie. Oh, I missed what she was saying. I think. Hold on. Which part was it? One person I can't tolerate is someone who's going to use another person or a child for profit or pleasure, right? Anyone else remember when YouTube used to be fun? I'm starting to wish you never put Jeannie on your show. Well, Jeannie was here actually a long time ago. I think before you even came on these Patch Dogs. So you know, my message did show up on the. It did. Hold on, let me go back and look. That's cool. I like that. That's the first time I saw that. I didn't like, okay. It's my day, the U.S. Army birthday, plus our president's 80th birthday. All right, good. So it works. Yay! Thank you, Kathy. The message works on Kofi. Sweet. Thank you. Next month, I meant that I feel bad for Jeannie. If I had stuff in my closet, that's the last thing I want to do is go on a show and have peeps in my bed. Okay, first off, each patch on. Jeannie came about because they requested 5 years of FOIA on my house, on my name. And what they found was body cam footage in relation to my being a witness in her domestic violence case. And they ran with it. And they were using it to hurt me. And they weren't even talking about the situation. They should have talked about the situation as reporters would have. But they didn't. They were using it to harass me and even said so. Now, someone like Shart is going after Jeannie.
Office pops.
Okay? And discussing what she thinks Jeannie's all about and what she thinks happened between her and her ex-boyfriend. Okay? So, Jeannie wasn't forced to do anything. They did it. Jeannie loved coming on the show. Jeannie used to have a lot of fun coming on the show. Okay? She was a cackle queen. So, you know, they did that to her. Nobody else did. She didn't do it to herself. They did that to her. Nobody knew, what was going on in her situation. In fact, I don't think anybody even realized at the time that the creeper that was stalking my house was actually Jeannie's boyfriend. And the most of the time that stuff happened was when they were broken up, and he was just mad that she was at my house. And when he did crazy shit, I spoke up. So.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're not gonna yell at my house. You know what I mean? Like yell shit at my house, throw shit at my house.
Yeah.
And try to like say shit to me just because she's over my house and you're mad at her. You know what I'm saying?
What she said.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not gonna allow you to attack her mother in front of me. And he did. He's lucky I was on the inside of the patio and he was on the outside of the patio at the time.
Oh, yeah.
He's lucky he was able to run quicker than I got out to my patio when he put something in her food. Because I would have grabbed that bottle of shit right out of his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You tell him.
But you guys are going to learn more about the bottle of shit kind of thing when Jeannie tells a story. No. But yeah, the story's crazier than what's on the body cam footage. And like I said once before, if you do watch the body cam footage, ignore Megan and Tug or Shizzy, whoever's commenting on it, or Shara, just watch the actual body cam footage. And I'm talking about the one that actually has me in it because that happened at the house. The other stuff of Jeannie walking around, and that's old. That shit is old. That's not any recent thing that's gone on. Okay? There is one recent thing that's gone on that's actually still under investigation that we will tell you about, but it is very personal because there's a lot involved, and Jeannie will have to tell you guys the story. It's sick, and it also involves the idiot that was arrested for battering her. So, it's sick, it's twisted, and it's been going on for a very long time. And when you guys find out who these minions are promoting this guy, you're going to see how sick they really are and how twisted they are in saying the shit that they're saying and making the stuff up that they are. because it's not at all true. The shit that they're saying. Jeannie's actually a victim. Period.
Hello, Mary Kay.
In the story.
On a side note, she's doing
Yeah,
good at the facility, right?
she's doing great. She's having
Awesome.
fun. You know,
That's
she's
always good to
witnessing some crazy things there, though. I have to say.
Oh, I'm sure.
And she's like, "Oh my god, I don't live like these people do." Lisa, I'm like, "I know," but she's like, "Wow, there's some crazy people in here." Um, but yeah, because there's a lot of people in there for different reasons, you know,
Exactly.
and not many these days are there for the same reasons she's there. You know, a lot of them are hooked on drugs and certain drugs, and it's really bad. You know,
Yep.
um, and that's not the same exact reason she's there. So, I mean, there's similar reasons, but not what she's. She was ready to leave, and they gave her a private room. So yeah, but they've kept her busy. There's a lot of activities that they do there. A lot. I'm like, dang. I'm like, it's almost like the villages. No, they got swimming pools. They have what I always forget the word. I do this a lot with certain things. Not pinball, not pinochle. It's the pickleball. Pickleball. Am I right? Pickleball. Right. They have
Pickleball.
the courts
Yeah,
there for that.
Ritz with counselors.
What?
I said, so it's the Ritz with counselors, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. They have pickleball courts. They have there's obviously gyms. There's boxing classes there. There's all kinds of stuff that she loves working out. She loves to work out. So and you know she's been talking about like how she hasn't worked out in such a long time, and she's been wanting to. So that's one thing that she's been doing. She did land in the hospital twice. um, she hurt her ankle one time, and they ended up putting her put in a boot, and then she had issues with her stomach, and she didn't know why. It turns out it was a gallbladder, um, but it was so like inflamed and bloated that they couldn't remove it, so they didn't do surgery. And quite frankly, when she told me about it, I was like, "Eh." I'm like, "Are you okay?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm okay now." Um, so I was like, "Well, is it something that's gonna pop back up like immediately or anything?" And she's like, "No." I'm like, "Well, then you only have this much time left. You probably should go to a different doctor." I just didn't like the hospital that they had her in. And as far as surgery went, they were even telling her that they didn't feel safe doing it. I'm like, if they're telling you they don't feel safe doing it, then don't go. She was like in a hospital that's closest to where she was, not rather than being at like um, the main hospital, like a really known hospital that's credible for massive surgeries and stuff like that. So I just feel better that she'll come and get it taken care of when she gets out. So, but other than that, since she's okay, she's feeling fine anyway. They gave her medicine for what was going on, and so she's doing good. Jules is gonna go bonkers when she hears her voice. I'm telling you right now. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's funny because Jules gets so excited when she's around, and Jeannie's always in and out, of my house all the time. So Jules is always up and down, up and down, up and down. And she's been so chill lately. And I'm like, she's gonna lose it when she hears Jeannie. She is. She's gonna lose it. So I can't wait to see that. It should be fun. Lots of fun.
Lots and lots.
Yeah, I said, I'm like, well, the problem is I don't know when she's gonna come, and she better not come when I'm sleepy, so I won't be able to film it. Yeah, I know. I said, I'll tell her first. I'm like, before you come here, tell me because I want to get Jules' reaction. So I'll do that. Because a lot of times she'll show up at my house at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and she'll have coffee with Gabe if I'm sleeping or whatever. So yeah, or I'll tell Gabe too. My gallbladder comes out to 26. It's full of stones. Ooh. A lot of people have their gallbladders out. Do you guys have issues from having it out? because they say you don't need it, but I know that one of the things that they say you can't do is you can't eat fried food anymore. Step one: buy lemur costumes. Must be sleepy. I actually have one in my golf cart. It's the head of a lemur. It's supposed to be Crayola. Jules be healing her. Yeah, Jules is very healing for Jeannie. There was some nights that she would just ask if Jules can come like stay at her house and sleep with her. And Jules loves that shit. She loves to be in the bed sleeping with you. She's a great dog. You know, yeah. I saw Ray Bone Crusher in here earlier. Is he gone? Or is he still here? It's the Bone Crusher.
Where is Ray Ray?
I don't know. I saw his name go by in the very beginning, but I haven't seen it since. I had my gallbladder out years ago. So, what kind of issues do you have from that, or is it like did you go back to normal, or like did you not eat fried foods, or what? Oh no, really, Helen?
Spicy foods and fried fruit foods.
Well, you got to cut back on them.
Yeah.
So you can still have them. You just have to cut back.
It depends on the person.
Okay.
I've got friends who had them out. They can still eat it, but they just had to cut way back.
Oh, okay. Because years ago they told me I had gallstones, and I was like, I do?
Yeah.
Oh, look who's here. He's Nate. I'm just kidding. It was my fault. What's up, Rich?
What's going on?
How you
Where's
doing?
Rick?
I was watching the Trump. You
Oh.
don't even know the 250, the UFC. They're all fighting. It's great.
Hold on, I got to refresh.
Yes.
Oh, you got Robbie had to refresh. So cool.
What's going on?
Nothing. I'm just talking about the stuff happening around here. I've already gone over the Hales bullshit.
Well,
talking to
recap this
Megan.
me in a nutshell. Is he still talking shit about me? Did he mention my name?
No, he did not mention you.
Yeah, they don't mention me for some reason. I think they're scared. I really don't.
No, that's funny because somebody else had asked me earlier before we even came on the live, are they talking about the case with Richard Fed too anymore? And I said, I haven't heard him really mention that. Tug will mention you, but I don't listen to him in full. So
I just filed, or I didn't file, but I just made a story about what Judge Bolitho and Judge Hinkle did in Fed 2. Did you see my story yet? I came out a few minutes ago. Actually.
No, I've been live. I didn't see it. You want to post it?
It's an excellent story. I can go through it if you want. I can show the audience. Let everybody see it. It's PG. It's not anything that anybody hasn't seen before with respect to breadsticks and piglet, But it actually puts things in perspective of what's going on with the case, because you got a bunch of people out there in the Halesverse. I've called it the Halesverse now. That encompasses the Hales ecosystem, the anti-Hales, everything. The Halesverse, all the judges, all the people involved are the Halesverse, like the Hales universe, the Halesverse.
I usually say Saga, but yeah, the Halesverse works.
No, but it's the Halesverse. It's like X-Men versus Avengers. That's what this is becoming. Really, I'm telling you.
Megan thinks she's one of them.
Yeah, Megan's the piglet. She's the piglet. Oink oink. So, no, I just did a story because they came and they said, "Oh, look at this. He files this stuff and he gets abused by the judges and this and that and the other thing." They don't get what the hell's really going on here. I'm having fun in Fed 2. There's not much that they can do to me. Right? There's not much they can do to me. So, what the heck? Are they going to bring me in there? Are they going to make me go up there and go into court to make more media out of this? I'm doing with the court what Jeremy's been doing with the court for years. He uses the legal system to make media. Bruce Matskin said it for a long time. A legal case is the perfect catalyst for media. It's the perfect way to do media. There's nothing better than a legal case as a source of dramatic action.
Right.
So that's what we have. So I'll get this for you. Let me just open it up for you. Then let me get this. I have the copy of the story that I just did.
There's no banned videos in this, is there?
No, there's nothing like that. It's all actually pretty good. I'll open up this.
I feel like we're rich with you. I feel like I have to ask.
Yeah. No,
by the way, is that video banned? Yes or no?
Which video?
The video that's in question in court.
No, it's not banned. It's not a banned video.
That's what Megan was saying. It's banned.
It's a filed court document. Who says it's banned?
Megan did.
When?
She's an idiot.
Like a week or two ago.
Yeah, she's a moron.
I
I
aired
filed
it
it
on
the other
my
day in
show.
court. It's filed in court. So filed, and I do this in the actual in this case. I show everybody. And I put the thing here. Okay, here we go. Hinkle makes judicial time ordinary in Florida federal court. That is the title. Hinkle
Right.
makes judicial time ordinary. What does that mean? This is going to go fly on the face of ordinary versus extraordinary, right?
Yep.
People think that judges are extraordinary people. I thought judges were extraordinary too, until Judge Hinkle told us that judges are pretty ordinary. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, Hinkle and Belifo. Everybody is the same. Everybody has time. And so
Right.
here's what we got, right? Judicial time is ordinary because justice doesn't run on special clocks. It's all the same. So I'm saying that Judge Hinkle and Judge Belitho are the great egalitarians of our day. They are the men's men. They are they are men of the people, men of equality. They're for the common man. And I have pictures of them there. So we have the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. Robbie, that's for you. They all have Gators gear on.
Thank you, sir.
And you'll see why in a second. I'll show you why. I did some deep down research.
Is that Foreman on the right?
Yeah, that's Larry Foreman. We talk about him in this story too. We talk about the germ. We talk about Larry Foreman, and then we have me with my mugshot picture. So
I love that.
there we go. And I have that's Thomas Jefferson, and that's Ulysses Grant, and that's the ghost of Michael Volpe. I don't know. We'll get into it. I'll show everybody. I will read a little bit. Luthman notes, some court orders sting because they close a door. Others matter because they open a window. The Belitho order denied me leave to file a limited reply, but it also said something bigger. Judicial time is ordinary, not extraordinary. I can live with that. I do not need judges treated like temple priests, and I do not want litigants treated like peasants outside the castle gate. If court time is real time, then court criticism is real criticism. Sharp, fair, sourced, public. That's not an attack on the judiciary. That is the republic reminding the judiciary what it is. This piece is Hinkle makes judicial time ordinary. First available on FL Gulf News.
Again.
There's me, Richard Luthman. And then we have Gainesville, Florida. Rob, you love Gainesville, don't you?
I love that place.
Okay. There are court orders you lose and hate. There are court orders you win and forget. Then there are court orders you lose and quietly admire because they say something larger than the immediate fight. That's where I am with the recent Judge Robert Hinkle, Magistrate Zachary Belitho, no extraordinary circumstances ruling in the Jeremy Hales What the Hales federal case, now pending in Gainesville federal court. And so here are the documents for anybody that didn't see. On 6-2, there was an order, and they all went in their Hales verse and said, "Oh, look, he got denied. Luthman got denied. Payships got denied." Luthman has moved for leave to reply to plaintiff's response. Ordinary not file a reply. Because the court finds no extraordinary circumstances here, Luthman's motion for leave to reply will be denied. Now, this is a little brain I put right here. That's the brain.
Yeah.
No extraordinary circumstances. What does the brain say? Not even judicial time is extraordinary. No extraordinary circumstances. What was my point? My point is that, you know what? I wanted to save the judges a whole bunch of effort if they apply the wrong law. And so obviously Judge Belitho said their time isn't extraordinary, so it's not a reason to save them time. You don't have to save the judge's time. So you could put in what you need to. So I filed objections. And Judge Hinkle overruled my objections. He says, Luthman has filed objections to the magistrate's non-dispositive order, which denied leave to file a reply memorandum. I have reviewed the order and objections. The order is neither clearly erroneous nor contrary to law. It is instead correct. What does that mean? Not even judicial time is extraordinary. He said that everything here is correct. No extraordinary circumstances. So the judge's time is not extraordinary. The Judge Hinkle said it. The rambling, overly long objections provide further confirmation of the wisdom of denying leave to file a reply memorandum. The alternative request to treat the proposed filing of the notice of supplemental authority is also unfounded. Arguing longest or less is no substitute for a single distinct presentation on the merits. And that's the standard he says. He says himself, I'm rambling, overly long objections. Okay, so he's holding me to the standard of an attorney, but we know already that I'm not held to that standard. I have a federal judge, and we'll talk about that in a second, that said that I'm too fucking crazy to be held to the standard of an attorney. And he says, with the wisdom of denying leave. So he doesn't, because he's not giving me the pro se solicitude, the leeway. So he's holding me to that standard. And he's saying that I'm arguing longest or last, no substitute for single succinct presentation. So I'm held to the standard of single succinct presentation. That's the lawyer standard. So he overruled my objections. I said thank you, right? I said thank you to Judge Hinkle. Why? On paper, I lost a small procedural point. Magistrate Judge Bolitho denied me leave to file a limited reply. Judge Hinkle did not treat denial as some grand constitutional drama. The basis message was simple enough. Judicial time is ordinary. Replies are not automatic. Local rules mean what they say. A party generally gets one clean shot, then the court moves on. Fine.
Right.
I'll take a paper loss. But time may very well prove me the winner. Ask Michael Volpe's favorite U.S. president, Thomas Jefferson. I swear Mike holds seances with Jefferson and Ulysses S. Grant because he's always talking about them. And there's Volpe and there's Jefferson and Ulysses S. Grant. And here's Michael Volpe's seance. He's in front of the Ouija board, and he's talking to the ghost of Grant and the ghost of Jefferson, two of his favorite presidents. I was going to put the ghost of Bill Clinton in there, too, but that's his favorite living president. So I didn't want to put Clinton in there because he was alive. And then if Bill Clinton drops dead, they'll probably find a way to blame me. So I didn't want to put Bill Clinton in there to die. But understand how Michael Volpe rolls with his judicial seances or presidential seances. Now, this is history. You heard of the case of Marbury versus Madison? Robbie, have you heard of that case?
No.
It's one of the oldest cases in the book. It's one of the first big cases that was by the Supreme Court of the United States, was decided by the Supreme Court. And the year that it was decided, and I'm going to pour myself a little drink while I talk. This is some of the good stuff. The year it was decided was in 1803. That was kind of right after the Constitution was formulated. Remember, the Constitution was in 1789 and 1787, and then 1789 it was ratified. Then 1791 was the Bill of Rights. 1803 is right after that, and the Chief Justice at that time was John Marshall. He's one of the most famous Chief Justices of the Supreme Court. And for the 10 years after we had the Constitution, we had two presidents. One was named George Washington, and the other was named John Adams. I don't know if you've heard of George Washington. Rob, you've heard of George Washington?
Isn't that fellow that was the
He's on the dollar bill. Take out a
dollar bill? Yes, on the dollar bill.
Yes. So they were in the party called the Federalist Party. And then the other party in the country was called the Anti-Federalist Party or the Democrat-Republican Party. And then became shortened to the Democrat Party. And that was the leader of that party was Thomas Jefferson. So when Thomas Jefferson became the third United States president in the 1800 elections, he took office in 1801, in March of 1801, because that's when they did it back then, not January. And then by 1803, a case got to the Supreme Court about commissions being delivered for William Marbury. And that's the case that first decided that something had to be signed, sealed, and delivered. The commission was appointing Marbury to a federal post, and the commission wasn't signed, sealed, or delivered. And so it wasn't signed and sealed, so it didn't have to be delivered. And that was how the case was ruled. But the more important thing with the case is it develops something called judicial review. And that's why we have a Supreme Court, meaning that there's appellate courts. So you go to a regular court, like you go to Hinkle, and if he's wrong, you can go to a circuit court of appeal for judicial review. And the final place you do judicial review is the Supreme Court of the United States. So he won the case, Jefferson, signed, sealed, and delivered. But when the way the court's language was, it allowed for judicial review. And that bit Jefferson in the ass for the next 20 years. Jefferson won the immediate fight in Marbury versus Madison. William Marbury did not get his commission. James Madison did not have to deliver it. The Jefferson administration avoided a direct order from the Supreme Court that it might have ignored, and the disputed scraps of Federalist patronage stayed buried where Jefferson wanted them. So he wanted his people in, and he wanted the Federalist people out. It's politics. But Chief Justice Marshall won the war over the Constitution. The case became far more than a quarrel over signed, sealed, and undelivered commissions. It announced judicial review, the power of the federal judiciary to interpret the Constitution and refused to enforce laws that violated. In the formative years of the Republic, that was no small thing. Jefferson's Republicans captured the political branches, but Marshall's Federalist judiciary secured a generational foothold over constitutional meaning. So Jefferson was the Democrat Republicans. They were really the Republicans back then, but they were Democrat Republicans. And Marshall was the Federalists. Those are the old political parties. The result was a classic American irony. Jefferson prevailed in the case, while Marshall turned the lawsuits to institutional conquest. That's the word we want, institutional conquest. This piece is not a grievance opera, and Judge Hinkle is no villain. In fact, I think the ruling is more useful than the win would have been. It strips away one of the most poisonous myths in American law, that judicial time exists in some holy category separate from everyone else's time. And then we did a little picture that illustrates that. Robbie, here's your guys. See the Gators? They're all U of F guys, the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. But look at the jerseys that Hinkle and Bolitho are wearing. Hinkle is a Seminole, and Bolitho is a Buckeye. Do you believe? Did you know this? Did you know this is the scandal of this story? Actually, that Hinkle's a Seminole, and Bolitho's a Buckeye. Now I kind of figured that Bolitho something was up, but I didn't realize it was this bad. Because Tom Brady, has what he says of Ohio, Ohio State, it's a godforsaken place, and Tom Brady's the GOAT. I'm not going to go into Tom Brady, but Ohio State, it's a tough person to be a person from Ohio. We know some other people from Ohio, don't we? Who do we know from Ohio?
Listen here. All I got to say is 41-14, baby.
41-14, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, that's when we turned the desert into a swamp against the Ohio State Buckeyes.
That's right. It's tough to be the Ohio State Buckeyes. When I say Hinkle, he's judicial time ordinary. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, Hinkle, and Bolitho. And they're wearing their
it's funny. I just want to say, I found a lot of Bolitho's orders to be somewhat fair, because even if he denied someone something, he would also sometimes grant something. You'd have to read between the lines. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you didn't catch it off the mark, it's like he'll deny but grant. It's weird. It was weird.
He hasn't come from a bad spot. I don't love the guy. He's a Federalist, so I do like him that he's an original constitutionalist and he's part of the Federalist Society. But I don't like him because he worked in the Justice Department under Rod Rosenstein and all those guys. The lawfare guys during Trump's first term. He was one of those. He was a deputy U.S. Attorney General under all the guys that were covering for Comey. Put it that way. So I don't really love him. And I have a case right now where I'm doing a FOIA to get some information on Comey. And I've been doing some investigative work on Comey and some of the lawfare people, a lot of the lawfare people in the government. So he was right there defending them. He was one of them basically. So I'm suspicious about him for that reason. But it is what it is. If he's a Federalist, he's like, okay, but the Buckeye thing really doesn't. Oh man, God, who could for real? Yeah. So the butcher has time constraints, the baker has time constraints, and the candlestick maker has time constraints. So do Judge Hinkle and Magistrate Bolitho. That is not an insult. It is a compliment. It is also a public service announcement to the judicial class. There are people that think the judicial class, the judges and lawyers, are better than everybody else. And I'm arguing this ruling makes it not so. Hinkle makes judicial time ordinary. The one-and-done rule comes for everybody. The immediate fight was narrow. I asked to file a limited reply on a statutory timing issue. The question is not whether I could relitigate an entire motion to dismiss. It was not an effort to sandbag Jeremy Hales or his lawyers. It was not delay dressed up as procedure. It was a short request to determine which version of Florida's cyberstalking statute governed a January 2025 publication after later amendments took place on October 1st, 2025. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, Lisa.
Yeah.
We talked about how it was about the law. Right. Yeah. And so the law changed, and the old law, I clearly doesn't apply to me. And the new law still doesn't apply to me either because of the First Amendment. But I did show everybody. And so this is the point from before with Megan. On 6/3 of 2026, the document got filed at the court. Here's the stamp on it. Right. Here's the flash drive. And everybody knows what's on that flash drive. The video issue is now federal court evidence. And it's right here.
Okay. Forget.
Do we need to watch it or not?
No, we're good. We know what it is.
All right, we've seen it before. Okay. That issue That is a real legal issue. In a diversity case, meaning a diversity of jurisdiction, meaning he's from Ohio and I'm from Florida, the timing and substance of state law matters. It's a state statute. Statutes generally operate prospectively unless the legislature clearly says otherwise. A later amendment does not automatically govern an earlier alleged publication simply because it's more convenient for the plaintiff's theory. So he
Right.
has to reply. Belitho says no. Local Rule 7.1 says a party ordinarily may not file a reply memorandum. Only extraordinary circumstances justify one. The court found none. As a litigant, I could complain. As a writer, I see the better story. The court
Right.
effectively said one and done. Even to me, a pro se defendant not appearing with a lawyer. Even though the late, great Jack Weinstein previously said, my mental health issues, my collapse as a former practicing lawyer, and the danger of ignoring those issues in the legal profession showed I couldn't render sound legal advice to anyone, let alone myself. And this is the judge who said it. Jack Weinstein, he's dead, but he wrote the book on evidence. He made an evidentiary finding about it. That is the tension. Federal court can recognize I am not in any real world sense operating as a trained, active, competent attorney in my own case and still hold me to the brisk procedural lane. That sounds harsh until you look at the other side of it. The court did not create a special protected caste for judges either. Think about that. Judges are all the same.
Yeah.
That's what this ruling says. That's what I see this ruling as. And so I say, does the Hinkle-Belitho ruling cut against judicial exceptionalism? And there's a whole bunch of people that I says, well, the biggest one so far is Luthman Clown, the judiciary. So everybody can go to my story and they can vote on what they think. One choice is judges are public servants. No, courts need strict control. Both can be true. They didn't read the papers. Some people thought that. And then Luthman Crown the judiciary. Most people so far said that. This just came out. And then SCOTUS bars counting mail ballots after election. That's the polymarker. That's what they think is going to happen in the Supreme Court. Okay. Hinkle makes judicial time ordinary. Judges are pedestrian. Good. What does that mean? Judges are just like everybody else. The
Right.
hidden assumption in too much American legal culture is that judges are different. Not merely different in function, but different in class. Their triumph is treated as rarefied. Their frustration becomes doctrine. Their convenience becomes policy. Their irritation becomes an order. That is what Judge Hinkle's treatment of the issue matters. By refusing to inflate the dispute into a moral emergency, Hinkle did something useful. He made judicial time ordinary, placing the judiciary back into the world with the rest of us. Judges are not temple priests floating above the marketplace. They are government employees with hard jobs, heavy calendars, limited hours, and human constraints. That is exactly how it should be. I do not need Judge Hinkle to prevent my filing was extraordinary, nor do I need Judge Belitho to stop the courthouse machinery so Richard Luthman can get the last word. And there they are. They're such beautiful looking men, aren't they? They're such beautiful, beautiful looking men. I have it here. Artist sketch of U.S. District Court Judge Robert Hinkle and U.S. Magistrate Judge Zachary Belitho, skilled jurists and men of the people. Let's take a look at these guys. These are just some beautiful looking men. Aren't they beautiful men? They're just beautiful looking men. The ruling says the court's time matters, but this does not say judicial time is divine. It says a judge must manage cases, but it does not say judges are superior species. That's the egalitarian part. The legal establishment may not like where that logic leads. If judges are ordinary, then criticism of judges is ordinary too. Not threats, not lies, not unhinged personal abuse, but criticism, public criticism, legal criticism, policy criticism. The kind of criticism every butcher, baker, cop, mayor, journalist, school board member, prosecutor, and defendant
And
already
candlestick
lives with.
maker.
That's right. I put in some other professions, Robbie, and every alligator hunter. If a judge time is not extraordinary, then a judge's ego is not extraordinary either. That is a healthy rule. It's a very American rule. It's also a rule the judicial class should embrace before the public imposes it more rudely. Then I said, Hinkle makes judicial time ordinary. This is not the Larry Foreman routine. There's a difference between criticizing judicial power and throwing reckless insults at judges. That distinction matters right now because the Hales verse has been orbiting around Kentucky lawyer Larry Foreman, who has made public comments about Florida Judge Craig DeThomasis that raise an entirely different set of issues. Calling a judge a liar without proof is not legal analysis. It is not reform journalism. It is not First Amendment heroism. It is gasoline in a paper courthouse. And I do want to play this very, very shortly. This is a clip You want to put up your little thing that says fair use, so there's no problems.
Let me grab that. Hold on. Where are you? Where are you? Alrighty. Whoops. Hold on. It's skipping right out. There it is. What? There we
Can I
go.
hit play?
Yep. Go ahead.
Right, I'll play I'll play like a minute or so when he starts. He's gonna call a judge a liar right to their face. Ready? This is from my live the other day.
Here we go. We're gonna do it again, everybody. All right, doing it again.
Judge Thomas's attacks Hales. He's attacking Jeremy because Jeremy's the one in court. There is no petition against George in Florida that I know of, and I don't think one exists, who broadcasts them in conjunction with his YouTube program, What the Hales, right? And that's where Judge takes umbrage. Judge Thomas, as we know, takes umbrage with this. He says, Jeremy is What the Hales channel on YouTube. What the Hales channel on YouTube is Jeremy. There's no differentiation between the two, and that is false. That is a lie. That is not how it works, Judge.
That's not true.
He just called the judge a liar. That's the first part. I wanted to show everybody. The sound was off. The sound's on now, right? Everybody can hear. Can we hear everything?
Yeah,
the sound is on. Everybody can hear the sound. Give me the thumbs up and the sound is. So
Are we saying in the video, right?
Okay. And then, good. Then the next one is Piglet. I'm going to put the Piglet. And what Piglet says is true if you're not a lawyer, but it's not true if you're a lawyer.
The judge claimed, Judge DeThomas has claimed, that because of Jeremy's YouTube coverage, the court was getting hate mail. Now, this is something that they always say. Now, I noticed he didn't say death threats. He said hate mail. First of all, who cares? This is America, sir. People can email you. I don't recommend it because when you email a judge, you're pretty much just emailing the judge's assistant. So this poor girl or man has to go through all this stuff. However, he's an elected official. If you want to even send him an email and say, you know, you're a fucking scumbag, you literally can do that. That's protected. Now, I don't recommend it.
No,
because
please
these
don't.
people, no, don't.
See, now that's not true if you are a lawyer, right? So what she's saying, what Piglet said, you could say this guy's a scumbag. I can say he's a scumbag. Piglet could say he's a scumbag. This guy can't. This guy just called the judge a liar, right?
Yeah.
But then he said, now we have the best part. Here's the best part. Here's the coup de grace.
Found with a bar number. Be a professional. Why can't you act like a human being? Why do you act like a 7-year-old child? You're a grown man in your 50s, for God's sake. You're 20 years my senior, and I'm talking to you with my dad voice. Come on, dude. Really? Don't tell me I'm doing this for clicks and views, because people are going to watch this. You know why? Because they enjoy when we cover this content. That's it. They hate this ugly mug. I already know. I know you hate the sound of my voice and you hate my ugly face, and I'm okay with it. I love you.
Betty Monster.
Well, that's about the only true thing that the guy said. But there he was just going in a tirade where he was attacking another lawyer. He was attacking Bruce Manskin. And this whole thing is he talks about disbarment and everything else. And this was not just disbarment of a lawyer he was covering. He doesn't disclose to the public that he has a lawsuit against this Bruce Manskin, the lawyer that he's covering. And he stands to benefit because he threatened through his lawyers, Bruce Manskin, to settle the case because of the unauthorized practice of law that was engineered by his own lawyer, Randy Shockett, in Florida, on the bogus orders that we just talked about, and on the motion we had just reviewed to go over the bogus motion. So that is the what we got. That is Foreman lying. He called a judge a liar, and he has no evidence to prove it. Now, when you are a lawyer, you cannot call another lawyer, and let alone a judge, a liar. It's part of the rules. It destroys the integrity of the entire system, unless, of course, you're making a real allegation of perjury or dishonesty in the court, and you have evidence to back it up. That's a very clear-cut rule. So,
well, it's kind of funny because when it comes to the first part where he called him a liar, Jeremy, this video, Jeremy like holding his hands up saying, I'm Jeremy Hales. I am What the Hales. So like the judge treating him like that, he
So
said it. It's there,
there's- I talked about
but
this.
it's
I talked
still
about this already. And it's something
about
in
the
law
ego.
called alter ego, right?
Alter ego, yeah.
And it's part of corporate law. It's part of law. So if you have somebody that acts like a we have this in partnership to a certain extent. If you have two partners, like Robbie's got his brother, and they're partners on stuff, right? The
Right,
Easy
right,
Brothers, right? So you talk to one, and you made a deal with one. You made a deal with both. One partner is an alter ego for the other. You can't. One of the partners can't say, "Well, you didn't make the deal with me." No, if you make the deal with one person, you made it for the partnership. Same thing
right,
with alter ego. If you have a company that it's so connected to a person, and a person that's so connected to the company that they're one and the same, and they act like one and the same, that they're going to be treated like one and the same. Two companies that act can be alter ego for one another. A person can be another alter ego for a person. Company can be for a company. A property can be for a person. Depending if they blur the lines, right? If they
right.
blur the corporate lines, then that's what we have. That's what we have here. So if Judge Thomas was making an alter ego finding, that's not a lie. That's a finding. Now, when you're a lawyer, what are you supposed to say? You're supposed to say, I disagree with the judge's finding. I think the judge's finding is an incorrect finding. I have rights to appeal. We're going to appeal. We're going to blah, blah, blah,
Right,
blah. You don't call the judge a liar because you disagree with the judge. It's
right,
not, you cannot do that. That destroys the system. And when you do call a judge a liar so brazenly, you face legal discipline as a lawyer. I have a feeling that Larry Foreman may be facing disbarment very soon. I know for a fact that multiple packages will be received in Frankfort, Kentucky, at the Kentucky bar as early as tomorrow. I believe that this man will be facing severe scrutiny for his legal license, which may result in discipline all the way up to disbarment. Larry Foreman may very well be disbarred, in my opinion. So that's what we got going on here. That is what we got going on here. But that's not what's going on in this case with Judge Hinkle. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm not
right.
saying Judge Hinkle is corrupt. I'm not saying that Judge Bolito is dishonest. I think they're both swell guys, actually. I'm not saying either man acted from bad faith, bias, favoritism, or personal hostility. I am saying their ruling carries a broader public policy meaning. It rejects judicial exceptionalism by implication. It treats the court's workload as real, but not sacred. It treats procedure as procedure, not priestcraft. That's fair commentary. It's
Right.
also why lawyers should be careful when they put on clown makeup and call it advocacy. A law license is not a costume. Judicial criticism should be sharp, source, disciplined, and aimed at conduct, doctrine, process, and power. It should not be a cheap insult factory for internet applause. I think I know a lawyer that is generating a cheap internet factory for applause right here. I spent enough time on both sides of the courtroom to know the difference. I've also spent enough time in the federal system to know that judges have enormous power and are subject to ordinary human limits. Both truths can exist at once. That is why the Hinkle-Bolito order is more interesting than a routine denial. It gives the public a clean principle. Courts are busy, judges are human, and not every complaint becomes a federal event. I think somebody should have told that to Jeremy Hales and Randy Shockett a couple of years ago, right? A breath of fresh air. The old courthouse mythology says the judge enters, everyone rises, and ordinary life stops. The better view is simpler. The judge enters, everyone rises because the office deserves respect, and then ordinary life continues under rules that apply to human beings. The parties have burdens, the lawyers have burdens, pro se litigants have burdens, judges have burdens. Nobody gets magic immunity from time, error, pressure, criticism, or common sense. That's why I like this rule. Here's my wanted poster with the FBI Bureau of Common Sense and the Humor Division. You see, there's the glasses. We have these have the Junior Soprano glasses on, right there. But maybe we'll have the other ones that you like the next time, Lisa. So I lost the procedural point, but the courthouse gained a democratic one. Judge Hinkle did not pamper the bench as some separate and distinct estate. He did not act as if judicial inconvenience were a constitutional injury, nor did he turn a one-page denial into a marble monument. He let the practical rule breathe. Court time is real time. That does not mean pro se parties should be crushed under lawyer standards. They should not. Courts still have to account for the fact that a non-lawyer party is not a trained advocate or may have recognized limitations. The Supreme Court and the 11th Circuit have long recognized that pro se filings get a liberal construction for that reason. A person standing alone in federal court is not standing in the same shoes as a silk stocking law firm or a white shoe law firm. That's another name for that. And I have a little video here. You want me to play this video from last week?
Yeah.
This is about.
I always, when you're gonna play a video, I always wonder what you're gonna play.
This is about Tuboku.
So, they said,
Do you have, Lisa? Do you have physical damages?
do I have physical damages?
Yes.
In what way? What do you mean?
Well, I'm going to assert, if I need to, I'm going to assert physical damages against Jeremy Hales and his entire ecosystem for the problems that they've caused me. You see, I have a class of damages called the Tuboku damages. And this is a very, very well-known class of damages. And it's a urological condition. And what's happened is the stress that they've caused me has caused my urological condition to enlarge to the extent that I'm Tuboku. And now there's no women around that want to come near me. They've caused me millions of dollars worth of harm because I'm Tuboku. The stress that they've caused me has caused me a urological problem that I'm Tuboku.
Well, I was in fact in the hospital.
I have physical damages that I'm going to assert at this point because I have to walk around. I have to actually probably get a third leg sewed into my pants now because of all the problems they've caused me. Ever since they started this stuff, you know, I have the Tuboku damages. I don't know, Robbie, do you have any of the Tuboku damages? I have
definitely
damages
suffering from Tuboku
caused by these people. It's a terrific category. It really is. It's physical manifestation of all their fuckery. It's caused me Tuboku damages. It's a real thing. Look. So it's a true thing. Robbie will confirm today. You have the Tuboku damages as well?
100%.
Yeah. Because all this.
Scooter, you have the Tuboku damages?
Scooter's got them too.
It causes the urological swelling, and it's a terrible urological swell. You know, it's going to get to the point pretty soon. I told you, I'm going to have to take all my pants, put a third leg in. I might even have to take it and throw it over my shoulder with a strap. That's how crazy it's going to get. That's what these people have done to me. It's damages. So, liberal construction is not endless indulgence. That is the edge of the lesson. I can live with that edge if the same principle runs both ways. And here it does. Judges are pedestrian. That's not an attack. It's the highest civic compliment. Our republic does not need robed aristocrats. It needs ordinary public servants doing difficult work under public scrutiny. To paraphrase the words of Judge Hinkle, it will not end well for Larry Foreman. And in the deeper sense, Judge Hinkle's ruling should not end well for judicial exceptionalism either. And that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that's what we got. That's what I'm doing today. That's what I had. I'll take that off the screen for you. And awesome. That's my piece that I put together today. That's out. And so
that's on Florida Gulf News.
It's on flgulfnews.com, and it's all it is where it is, and it's on Substack as well. Everybody can subscribe to my Substack, and you can go to Florida FL Gulf News. Everything on FL Gulf News is always going to be free. I do Substack. You put it on there, I'm going to send you emails as well. So go on where you need to go. And I continue to write stuff, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. That's the whole thing. That's what I'm a writer.
There's lots of subjects that you talk about.
Tuboku is hurting.
I think we might have to do a full article about Tuboku damages, Robbie. I think we have to do a full deep dive.
We're going to have to. Yes, we're definitely going to have to do that.
The legal and evidentiary history.
That'll make you quiver.
That's right. The Tuboku damages. So actually,
now, Rich, you saw that.
I'm gonna let everybody know. I'm gonna wear my gangster glasses. I'm gonna get them on. I'll put them on. I can't wear them with the hat because they don't go with the Panama hat. Panama hat goes with the round glasses with tortoiseshells. That's like straight out of like US. I can go gangster glasses with my hair like that. Yeah, I can go like Uncle June. I go my Uncle June like this. So I'm all good. So go with those today. The bug eye glasses.
So did you see that video that was on Larry Farman's channel with Hank Inkles or Inkless, whatever her name is?
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Stinkles,
Feathers,
Dora Stinkles.
yeah, and what's it called, Socket. What did
Yeah,
you get out of that? Like how many?
we're
How
still
many?
we're still analyzing that. It'll be out soon. There's a whole train. The train is going station to
Miss
station.
Lori, it just gives you quivers.
We're going to go station to station with the analysis. So this is one step at a time.
Yeah.
We're not. Listen, Rome was not built in a day, right?
Yeah.
And so we're going to go step by step, day by day, right? Just like the Full House, right? The Full House theme, step by
Yeah.
step, day by day. That's what we're going to do. And so we're going to get what we need to get, and that'll be happening very soon. But at the first, the first boss, we're in level 1. The first boss
Right.
in level 1 that we have to beat is Larry Foreman. I think that
Right.
once we beat Larry Foreman, right, he's the boss of level 1, and he gets in trouble. He's going to be very, very quiet with his YouTube very, very shortly because he's going to receive notice from the Kentucky bar that he's in deep poo poo. And he's going to have to slow down and because he's going to worry about his license. Because as much as he might make on YouTube, he doesn't make anything on YouTube compared to what he makes as a lawyer. So his choice is going to be: does he want to be someone who has all the free speech in the world and no law license, or does he want to preserve his law license and shut up for a little while? And so that is where we're going to. And that's actually, people tell me that Ray Reddington and Ray Reddington in the
Blacklist.
Blacklist.
Blacklist. Yeah, they tell me that all the time. It's like you like Red. You tell me. It's like if I want anybody to devise a scheme, you're the guy I want you to make the scheme up. But I digress. But he's the boss of level 1. The boss of level 1. And
Well,
I
what's
think that
going on now with his case with Bruce? Like, what was the last thing that? Because I haven't actually been following the whole thing. What's the last thing that's gone on?
it's the Bruce case, and the judge said no, this case has merit. It's going forward. The one that Bruce
Oh, that's what I thought. That's the last I knew.
And so that's going to be a problem. And now, I think Larry's going to be in a big,
Miss
in a deep
Lori.
shithole because Larry's not going to. He doesn't want to lose his DUI little fucking kingdom. If he
Yeah.
has a law license and they suspend him for 90 days, he can't collect any money. He can have 20 lawyers working for him. He can't collect $1 from the practice for 90 days. Think
Oh,
about
I'm
it.
sure Shaka will give him some tips on how to do that because he did it.
Oh yeah, no, he did that as a dentist, right?
Dentist. Yeah.
He was doing dental procedures under somebody else's license. Yeah, no, he'll try to do that.
Foreman, Shaka got in trouble for doing that.
Well, the problem what they have is this: they thought this was all fun and fucking games, right?
Yeah.
And so they got this order down in Florida to say that that Bruce was engaged in the unauthorized practice of law, right? And that order is on the verge now of being overturned in Florida. But they thought they were fucking funny, and they went and they got Connecticut and Massachusetts bar associations involved, and they filed claims against Bruce up there, and he's got to deal with them, and he's not going to get compensated or anything. If he wins, he's shit out of luck on. They had to pay lawyers, tens and $20,000, this and that.
Right.
But the problem becomes Larry Foreman now is in that boat. And the Hellsverse is watching this, and Larry Foreman, they're going to get their popcorn. We're going to watch Larry Foreman. And if he tries to pull some bullshit, if he tries to run shit under somebody else's license, if he gets in trouble, he gets suspended, he gets this, people are going to know. And people are going to narc on him. It's not like he can do it like on the DL. Shockett, when he was a dentist, nobody knew who the fuck, Randy Shockett was. So he could be in a room someplace. He'd have the fucking mask on, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's do your teeth." What the fuck, Larry Foreman going to do? What the fuck is Larry going to do if he gets in trouble for 30 days or 90 days? He gets suspended, or he gets disbarred. He's probably not going to be disbarred. Maybe he will be to make an example, but more likely they'll suspend him, and he's not going to be able to be shady with his suspension. So he's going to lose a lot of fucking money. And part of the suspension will probably be they'll have to get rid of his YouTube channel. I guarantee you that's what the bar's going to say, because the bar hates lawyers that appear on television, right? They hate lawyers that appear in the media.
You know, unless you're somebody that's like on like Fox News or CNN, you're the legal analyst that when they do the Supreme
Right.
Court case, then they kind of break it down. Oh, yes, this case is a voting rights case, and it's about how they can do the reapportionment of the districts. And one side
Right.
says you can do it in triangles, and the other side says you can do it in squares, and the third side you can do it in circles. And the judges will say this. That if it's all buttoned up type stuff, prim and proper, they have no problem with that. But when it gets to be Larry Foreman, who is lending his attorney license to the Halesverse to try to give parts of it legitimacy, that becomes a problem. That becomes a real problem. So
you know what? He wouldn't be in this if he would have just turned around and stayed out of it and removed the thumbnails. He would never even been in that lawsuit. You know, he just would not remove like 3 thumbnails that had. There wasn't that many, like not as many as Hales. He just refused to.
listen, I don't care so much about him having thumbnails up or not. We have him in black and white, Dead to Rights. We played it before. He called a judge a liar.
Yeah.
Right. You have to understand, like, you understand how bad that is. In Connecticut, there was a lawyer, and me and Mike talk about this a lot. Me and Mike Volpe, this woman named
It's
Nicola
Mike
Cunha.
Volpe and I.
Yeah, Mike Volpe and I. So me and Mike Volpe end up doing me and Mike Volpe end up doing talking about Nicola Cunha.
Son of a bitch.
And Nicola Cunha was a lawyer up in Connecticut, and she basically said that there was a vast Jewish conspiracy, and the Jews were running the courts. Okay, and that the Jewish conspiracy was discriminating against her and her client and this one and that one. And so the judge said to her, okay, fine, come to court and show cause. What I'm asking for right now, show cause before the court as to the Jewish conspiracy. Bring your evidence. She comes to court and she starts talking. She has no evidence. She fumbles around, and the judge turns around and says, fine, you are summarily disbarred. They disbarred the woman on the spot for claiming that there was a Jewish conspiracy without having any evidence to back it up. So this guy said that Judge D. Thomas is a liar, and he said it with no evidence to back it up. They could call him in and say, fine, you said this man is a liar. Tell us why you think he's a liar. He also said that he defended pedophiles. He also said he did this, that, and the other thing. Tell us what the factual basis for what you have is. They didn't have that. If he doesn't have it, he's done. He's in deep poo-poo. So it is what it is. I have to do a 60-second runaway to do something. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give everybody something very nice to look at while I run away.
No.
Oh my God. He is so funny.
He's funny. How do we do here? Oh God, no. Hold on.
Oh jeez.
There we go.
Can you put the circle with the line through it? Oh my God. Oh jeez.
Man, oh man. Yeah, Larry's in some deep shit, saying that
That's
stuff.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm back.
That is
so
insane.
I had to turn the TV down a little bit. Everyone in the house is asleep, and the fight's still going on with Trump, the White House.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh, it's like the final fight or the second to last fight. It's a regular card. It goes all night. So let's see. Let me put the thing back.
What are you even talking about?
Which Trump?
The UFC fight
Oh. Okay.
at the White House.
It's going on.
I wasn't watching it at all. Gabe probably would have, but he fell asleep really early.
Oh, I slept last night. I went to bed last night at like friggin' 8 o'clock, and I didn't get up till like 9 or 10 o'clock today. I slept a good like 12, 13 hours. I had a great night's sleep last night. Oh, so good.
Yeah,
I slept like that in years, like 2 years probably.
I think I went to sleep at like 5 and I was up at 8, and then I fell back to sleep this afternoon. So and I woke up at like 6 o'clock. Actually, no, I didn't. I woke up at 4:30 because Gabe wanted to go live this afternoon. He likes out of nowhere just popping on, and I'm like, all right. But I was sleeping, and then it was like 4:30. I'm like, you want to go on for like a half an hour? I was like, no, Tori's going on. I'm like, we only stay on for like an hour anyway. He's like, no. Okay. His evidence must also be in Jerem's folder. Right, Connie says?
Yeah. Larry Foreman forgot his evidence. It's in Germ's folder.
It's in my
No,
folder.
he's in a lot of trouble. Larry Foreman is in a lot of trouble because think about it. How do you explain yourself? You said Judge Thomas is a liar. You called him a clown. You put a clown mask on him, and you said that he defended pedophiles, and you said that he defended perverts. Okay, well, okay. One of those things on its own is a lapse. I called him a liar. I misspoke. I'm sorry that I said that. But you called him a clown. Oh, I'm sorry that I said that. I called him a pervert. Well, he did represent somebody who was shady, but I'm sorry I said that. You take all three of them together, it's a pattern. He has a pattern of behavior with no respect for the judiciary. I don't care who this person is. They're still a judge, and if you're a lawyer, you can't say that stuff. Anybody else could say that. That's the whole point of the egalitarianism that I talked about with Hinkle and Bolitho. I think that their ruling makes it so that this whole class of judges, this whole judicial class, poo-poos on that. What they should have done, if they were smart, is said, okay, we'll take your reply. If the other side wants to give a SOR reply, we'll do that, and it'll be the end of it. Now, I'm going to be using this thing just all over the place. I'm going to be saying what it says. They're going to come back and they're going to have to say, no, it's not what it says. And I'm going to say, yes, it is what it says. And it might end up getting an appeal to the 11th Circuit. It might end up becoming a big issue because of the fact they just didn't take the papers and then the fact that he says that it was rambling and this and that. Well, you guess what, idiot? You have a judge from the from the federal courts who wrote the book on evidence, who made an evidentiary finding that Richard Luthman is batshit crazy. How you get around an evidentiary finding that Richard Luthman's batshit crazy and you're expecting him to follow rules, right? That are meant for lawyers. I'm trying my best to follow the rules, but I'm too fucking crazy to follow the rules, right? Would any lawyer ever put that piece that I just put out? Would any lawyer put judges in there with their Florida State and their Ohio State, their shitty little schools that they went to? Would any lawyer put that out there in the middle of Gainesville to show the people of Gainesville who their judges are? That they're really carpetbaggers, or traitors? Like the Florida State people are traitors. Me and Robbie can agree. I love the Canes. Robbie loves the Gators, but we agree that the Florida State Seminoles are just like trashy, trashy, trashy people.
Dude, that's an ugly word. That's an ugly word.
Trashy or Seminole?
Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State. Yeah, there we go. Yes, but it is what it is, And everybody in Florida.
Dude, I almost puked saying that.
Everybody in Florida can agree. Everybody in Florida agree that Ohio State's the worst of the fucking bunch. Think about it. I had the worst 2 weeks of my life. One night in Columbus, Ohio. Worst 2 weeks of my life. It was a fucking terrible, terrible place. It's a godforsaken place. Holy shit.
I've had quite a few
a lot of cool
there.
people from Ohio. So.
I've had a lot of fun at Ohio State.
Chlamydia is not fun there. I gotta say.
Oh, jeez.
That place is unclean women.
Oh my god!
If you see the fucking needles, they're like that big. They're like ah.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Right. I should add that to my Tuboku damages.
All right, gosh! Oh my lord, that's so funny. Now, Rich, didn't you put? Okay, so this isn't the article. There was an email or something that you sent. I don't know if you were going to mention that, where you were going to question some people and what their opinions were in regards to Larry Foreman.
Oh, my Larry Foreman email? I can put that out. I can show that. Hold on. Let me open it up. Let me see. Larry Foreman.
I didn't know if you wanted to show that or.
I'll show that. I don't give a shit. I did that. I said that the other day. I did that the other day. I'll put that story. You want me to put that story up? I got that story from the other day. I'll put that up.
God.
That's actually a very good story. That's a very, very good story. Thank you for bringing that up. That was a very good story.
Kim Chu, OH.
I just thought it was, see, we have some Buckeye fans. But
I am apologize to anybody who's from Ohio that's a nice person. I think Jeremy Hales has ruined Ohio for me. If somebody wants to show me a good time in Ohio, I have an open mind, and I might say yes. Okay, Ohio is a great place, but at this point, Jeremy Hales is ruining Ohio. He has. I have friends from Ohio.
You
I'm not gonna
can't.
lie.
Yeah, but you see,
I have
you
good
can't
friends from
judge.
Ohio.
You can't judge Ohio by Jeremy Hales because
probably
Yes, you
from
can.
Ohio.
Yes, you can. I'll tell you why. I'm judging
Ugh.
Delaware by Joe Biden. I'm doing and Hunter Biden, guys who smoke crack and shit their pants. I'm not going to Delaware ever. No fucking way. So I'm not going there. I'm just not going. That's just how it is. So
What's up,
but they're
Jill?
giving out free cocaine there.
I can get free cocaine in Miami, dude. A lot fresher, a lot less cut. There's no cut. No cut in Miami. Come on. So,
Nice big capital. Next thing you know, your nickname is like Poppy Seed or something.
that's
Hey.
right. Okay. So this is from the other day. This is a good one right here. Okay.
All right.
You see this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Larry Foreman under fire for attacking Florida judge. Larry Foreman traded on attorney credibility, then used YouTube to attack a Florida judge, boost Hales versus narratives, and flirt with ethical troubles. Right? And here's Lisa.
Okay.
That's us. This is the whole us from last week. I put that all
Right,
up here. And there's a nice picture of Larry Foreman. And there's Bruce. And there's me. And there's Rule 8.2, unauthorized practice law file. We talked about that. I'm not going to go crazy about this one. If you want to read it, you can read it. But it was with Dick LaFontaine, who's an associate of mine, as well as myself, Richard Luthman. And we talk about the law license. And Frankfort, Kentucky is the place because that's where the Kentucky bar is, right? And so the problem that we have is, and we talked about it a bit, is that he called a judge a liar. You can't call the judge a liar. And that's what this story really talks about. And this is the judge, Judge Craig D. Thomasis. See, this is the guy that he's been called a liar when I played that clip before, right? You can't call a judge a liar, okay?
Right.
And you can, so like I said it here, judicial criticism is fair game. Judges are not kings. Their rulings can be criticized, appealed, reversed, dissected, mocked, and challenged. A journalist can call out a bad ruling. A lawyer could explain why he thinks a judge got the law wrong. A citizen can be furious about a court decision and say so loudly. None of that is the issue. The issue, what happens when a licensed lawyer goes beyond criticizing a ruling and starts attacking the integrity, honesty, and qualifications of the judge himself. And that's what this guy did. That's what Foreman did. He looks like such a douche. Look at that. What a douche he looks like. He did that when he called the judge a liar. He did that repeatedly, right? And so that's what we have. And I go through this. You want to read through this and see the videos. I talked about the Supreme Court of Kentucky and their rules. He violated the Supreme Court of Kentucky's rules, the biggest one being Rule 8.2, right? And he's got a bunch of ethics problems here, right? And the biggest one, I think, is the attacks of the judges. And then here are the thumbnails that we have. This is part of the issue that he has. These are the thumbnails. Judge D. Thomas, he put him in a fucking beanie hat. Look at that. That's judge number one, and that's Germ, of course. The next one is Peeping Tom Buddy. So he has the judge here dressed in a Peeping Tom trench coat, along with another Peeping Tom that I think he represented. You know, when you're a lawyer, you gotta take cases sometimes of people you don't really like, but you do it. You take a case. The third one here, we have him again, the judge in the clown costume, and we have a likeness of Larry Foreman, and we have the likeness of Jeremy Hales, Otter Creek. So we know what clearly this is. And the fourth one is D. Thomas is ordered to be removed, and he puts in a mocking the judge. That's okay for Germ to mock the judge all he wants. Germ could mock. I have no problem with Germ mocking the judge. I don't like Germ, but I'll defend his First Amendment rights all day long till the cows come home. But it's not about the First Amendment here. And this is what people said. Well, doesn't Larry Foreman have a First Amendment right to sit and speak his mind? No. When you're a lawyer, that's a privilege. You trade in your right to speak your mind for the privilege to practice law. So he's got to deal with, he can speak whatever he wants, but he's not going to say that you can't speak, but it's going to have consequences for his law license. And that becomes the problem here. And so,
yeah, I think that would be my reason for not getting a law degree.
That's the reason for not trying to get it. If I get my pardon goes through and everything else, And I could probably reapply for a low license. I could probably get one in a state like Alabama, Mississippi, Wyoming, Idaho, and those places.
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Yeah, I could probably get it in Arkansas with Shaka did it.
That would be hilarious.
But I'm not going to do it. I don't want it. I don't want them to be able to say, "Oh yeah, you can't speak." That's just not how I'm going to make my money going forward. So here's the point that you asked about.
Right. You being a consultant, which you can do, right?
Yeah. I people call me up all the time to ask me questions.
Yeah. I mean, I think you'd probably make more money being a consultant.
I could make more money doing legal management, telling people when to fire their lawyers or get new lawyers or how to do things. How to go about it. The lawyer just is like the mechanic at this point. I tell people how to fix the car, and the lawyer's the one who puts their hands in the machine.
Since you're here, the one thing Jeremy mentioned on his show tonight was that he had a hearing on Tuesday with Leslie and Michael, right? And he made it like something he was going to record. He talked about it in posting videos of Michelle's bankruptcy too, but he did say something about Tuesday's got to be in court. Made it like it was an issue, a big thing, and all it is, it's a case management hearing, which is a scheduling conference. So I was like, why are you even mentioning this? So can you just tell everybody what it is? It's a case management hearing.
What a case management conference is you're going to go and set schedules. It's not a motion. The judge isn't deciding anything. They might make minor orders for administrative purposes, but they're not making anything major. It's just they're going in and saying, what's going on with the case? Are you going into discovery? What do you need? Is everybody doing what they're supposed to be doing? That's all it is.
Yeah. So just letting everybody know. Hey, what's up, Guapo?
Guapo.
So this is the questions I sent to the Kentucky Bar. We contacted the Kentucky Bar for general information about clear ethical lines for lawyers appearing on YouTube. Here's what we asked. And we said all these people at the Kentucky Bar. See all these people?
That's what I was. That's what I was.
A whole bunch of other people too. I copied you. I copied Bruce. I copied Ray Bonecrusher. I copied Robbie, John Cook, Super Dave. I copied everybody.
Guys, he sent this email to everybody in the the Kentucky Bar.
Kentucky Bar Association, Office of Bar Counsel. We are independent journalists preparing a news report concerning Kentucky attorney Larry Foreman and his public YouTube commentary involving Florida litigation, Judge Greg the Thomasist, Jeremy Hales, and related Hales versus controversies. Now I put Michael Volpe's story in there for them to click on. The YouTuber who got as a lawyer, which is a good story. We are not asking the Kentucky Bar Association to give legal advice or prejudge any disciplinary matter. We are requesting general guidance and any public comment the Kentucky Bar Association can provide about the ethical line for Kentucky lawyers who use YouTube or other social media platforms to discuss judges, pending litigation, and litigation opponents. The central question is blunt. When a Kentucky lawyer publicly calls a sitting judge a liar, portrays or describes a judge as defending pedophiles or perverts, labels a judge the worst judge in his state, or uses a clown nose imagery and other ridicule aimed at a judge, does that type of public content potentially implicate SCR 3.130.8.2 and SCR 3.130.8.4 or other Kentucky lawyer-related conduct rules? SCR is Supreme Court rule. So it's Kentucky Supreme Court rule.
Right.
Our reporting concerns public statements and thumbnails attributed to attorney Larry Foreman, a Kentucky lawyer and YouTube creator, including commentary about Judge Craig the Thomasist and Florida litigation connected to Jeremy Hales, Randall Shockett, Bruce Matzkin, and related parties. The issue is not ordinary criticism of a judicial ruling. The issue is whether a lawyer may use the authority of a bar card and the reach of a monetized YouTube platform to attack the judge's honesty, integrity, and fitness in personal and inflammatory terms. We would appreciate guidance on the following. Does Supreme Court Rule 3.130.8.2 apply to a Kentucky lawyer's public YouTube or social media statements about judges outside of Kentucky? Does the rule apply when the lawyer is not counsel of record in the case being discussed but publicly comments as an attorney? And I'll tell you, newsflash, when you're an attorney, it always counts. You can't say it. You always wear the hat of attorney.
Which
3,
one,
does monetization, subscriber reach, or the use of attorney brand affect the analysis? Does calling a judge a liar constitute a statement concerning judicial integrity for purposes of 8.2? Does accusing or implying that a judge protects, favors, or defends pedophiles or perverts potentially trigger 8.2 or 8.4 review? If the public has video clips, thumbnails, transcripts, and links, what is the proper procedure for submitting those materials for a review? I have a feeling they've already been submitted. Since the Kentucky Bar Association website states the formal complaints cannot be submitted by email, should a media inquiry like this be treated separately from a sworn disciplinary complaint? And 8, is the Kentucky Bar Association able to confirm whether public YouTube content by lawyers are reviewed under the same professional conduct standards as public speeches, writings, interviews, or other statements? We intend to publish at the Kentucky Bar Association with contact for guidance and comment. Please let us know whether the KBA has a statement and whether this should be directed to another person or department, and whether the KBA can explain the proper public process for reporting lawyer YouTube conduct that appears to attack the judiciary. There's a press inquiry concerning general rules and public-facing lawyer conduct. It's not intended as a substitute for a sworn disciplinary complaint. We intend to go to press shortly. If you respond after press time, we'll incorporate your statements into a follow-up. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Richard Luth. We received no response as of press time. We received relevant communications from the Kentucky Bar. We will update the readership. Well, I'll tell you now, I didn't receive anything from them. Now, it's Monday morning already, Sunday night, Monday morning. If I get anything Monday, we'll do a follow-up, but I haven't received anything from them yet. So maybe they're all watching the UFC fight right now. They're all drunk.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe I'll get something tomorrow. We'll see. But this is the big story now. This guy is the story of the Halesverse. We're on level 1. He's the first boss, and we're going to slay him. He's going to get slayed. Everybody take a look at him. This is the guy that's going to get slayed first. You know? I don't know how many levels we have to go through. It could be like Super Mario Brothers. What is it, like 8 or 9 levels in Super Mario Brothers?
Right.
Or Zelda. There's like 8 or 9 dungeons, something like that. We're going to beat the boss. He's the first boss. He's gonna go down. After we beat him, we're going to start going for the rest. So I'm going to beat him down, and it'll be good. But I have all the stuff here, and so if you want to take a look at this.
Is this also on the Florida Gulf News?
That's on Florida Gulf News, and it's on Substack. Luthman.substack.com. I'll put it on the thing. Hold on.
All right, cool. Yeah, and it's like it's weird because Larry was in it and then he was out of it. He kept disappearing for a while, but it's like he did so much damage when he was in it to himself.
No, he's stupid.
Yeah.
You can't do this. You cannot do this as a lawyer. When you're a lawyer, you got to work from the shadows. Really,
right.
I know from experience. It's a terrible, terrible thing. You got to work from the shadows.
Yeah, and all he was asked to remove. I mean, this obviously was about the judge, but when it came to him being involved in the lawsuit, he was asked to remove those thumbnails, and there wasn't many of them. He could have just simply removed it, and that's what cracks me up about these people. It's like when you put a video up, you'll always get replays somewhere along the way, like when new people see your channel and stuff like that. But the majority of the views of a video is usually obviously the night you put it up. And a couple of days or a week thereafter. After that, why don't you just, are you getting that many views right now that it's going to make such a big deal to your channel to go through a lawsuit? Where the potential is to lose a hell of a lot of money because you did this. Like Larry could have literally just removed them, but he refused, and he got sued. And next thing you know, he was all in this case with Judge Thomas's, and going and meeting Jeremy, jumping on the Hales train, and I'm sorry, people like him, I think when they get around people like Jeremy, it's just just do bad things.
Very foolish man, Mr. Foreman is. So
yeah. Well, anyway, guys, it is 5 minutes to 1 a.m. Robbie, did you know what time it was?
No.
It's 5 to 1. Rich, thanks so much for popping on. I look forward to. I really like for you to come on Sunday nights because it's always about the Spunday thing, and it's all of them. Every one of them.
Well,
you guys make sure you go and follow Rich's page.
Yeah, follow me at Luthman News @Luthman News. Luthman. LUTHMANN News NEWS. I'll put it on the
Lisa, put up his link.
I am at LU.
There we go.
There you go. Whoops. Miss Lori, thank you so much. Does Jeremy know where Martha is? Is she still at Richards?
God. She's the reason why I hate Ohio.
Oh my God, that's so bad. No, he didn't even mention her tonight. You know, he may have said, "Oh, something we went on George and I this or George and I that." But he didn't say anything about her mental break or she's coming back or anything like that. Rich, you did reach 500, right?
Yeah, I'm over 500 right now. Let
Yeah,
me see where I'm at. I'll
Awesome.
tell you right now. I am
very
at
cool.
how many people follow me? I am at 527, 527 right now.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, I'm doing
Growing.
okay. I can't complain. It is what it is.
Hey,
But
Did we get to
uh,
second goal? Two. No, we need three more. Three more super chats. Let's see, Richard. How about the judge? Oh, somebody wants to know what you think about the judge in Ohio who's not given a judgment yet on the protection order for John and Michelle, and why it's
yeah,
going
that's what
taking forever.
judges do. They sit around, they sit on stuff.
Yeah,
And like New York, like I know New York very well. They're notorious for that. I have a case in New York that I filed. When did I file it? In 2022, 2023.
yeah.
And it still hasn't got past the motion to dismiss phase. Think
Oh
about
wow,
that. It's
that's
still under
crazy.
discovery. That's crazy, right? And that's how
Yeah.
judges they sit on stuff. It's been
Oh,
to
I
seven
thank God
judges.
that you fucking got rid of this case and the pen too. Well, okay, eight of us anyway. Thank God. Uh,
But
yeah,
the thing is, I'm trying to think what Belitho and Hinkle are thinking right now, right? I'm
yeah,
thinking, do they want this thing to turn into a full fledged fucking circus? Because that's where
yeah.
we're going. Like I
I
will
don't
put in a
know.
claim for two Goku damages. I'll actually
Yeah,
go to a urologist and have him take out a fucking measuring stick and everything else. I don't give a
yeah,
fuck. I'm that fucking crazy. I don't give a fuck.
yeah.
That's just it. Do not care. No fucks given. At this point.
I
What?
think that it'll move along when they tell her that Michelle's out of the bankruptcy, like the stay's over, and I think they'll just get rid of the whole Fed 2 case. You know,
Who knows?
I think they
No.
would have probably done it except for Michelle, but that there was always a question of whether you were served or not. And I think they were still actually we were dismissed before he ruled on the default for you, right? Didn't the default come in
No, they
afterwards?
opened the default. They opened the default up, and then they ruled
Uh
on you after that. But they
huh.
said
Okay.
there's so many other issues in my case that he had to study them. Letho
Right.
did.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Fucking study. Was it Rob Rosenstein or Rosenstein, whatever the hell his name is? He's one of Rob Rosenstein's lackeys at
Yeah.
the DOJ. And I'm doing some
Yeah.
stuff right now with the DOJ. They're all crazy. So
Yeah. Well, hopefully he just wants to get it over with. You know what I mean?
yeah, we'll
I
see.
think they still do. You know, but there's so many. I was thinking that they weren't going to do the third amended complaint. I can't believe they even bothered, to be honest with you. Against Michelle is a joke, and with you, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's
It's all,
becoming, crazy. It's really becoming crazy.
yeah,
So
must be a
I don't know.
blast. Lori. Lori said, "Richard, your family dinners must be a blast. Conversations would be cool." Hey, we tried to get Richard over here twice for dinner, and it just didn't happen.
I'll try to get up there soon enough, but it's like, what it is. It's like it's just it didn't work this time. I finally now I'm starting to get come out of. I had a whole bunch of crap going on down here.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well,
but now that
May's a busy month for lots of people. Lots of things. Everything's going on: events, weddings, baby
I had a
showers.
whole bunch of shit. You gotta understand, I had every weekend I had something going on between
Yeah,
communion and this for
yeah,
that one and this one for that one and this one and
yeah.
this and this one for that. It was like
Mhm.
now it's like the summer starts to come. You got some, if you're not away, it's like you got weekends that are open. Like I got
Yeah,
like a couple of weekends that are open. Like this weekend, I just kind of relaxed. It was fucking
yeah,
beautiful. I
yeah,
did what I needed to do yesterday, and I was done. And then I just relaxed. I just said I'm going to go to sleep, and it was great.
yeah, yeah,
But you get times a year that it gets crazy, like Thanksgiving's like that too. You get November and all the way into after Christmas. Like
yeah,
every weekend you're doing something. You have Christmas parties. You
yeah,
got this. You got that. That time
yeah.
of year is crazy.
Especially now here. Oh my God.
April and May, it's crazy between graduations and this and that
Yeah,
and everything else. Now it's getting easier, but then we got a few weeks from now, and then fucking hurricane season, knock on wood, will start. So hopefully we'll get some shit
yeah,
have to do with that.
but this is what it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's always busy here for me. It's always been busy in May in my life because my
And
family's
Bearded's
birthday.
on. I love Bearded. Bearded is there, and we're going to do our show this week. Bearded, we're going to do it this week. One of these days this week. One of these days. Oh, suggestion. If your case goes to trial by combat with Jeremy, see if you can change the venue to the White House. I will call up Trump and see if he can do that.
Oh, that would be great.
Or I'll call up DeSantis even and see if he wants to do that on the Tallahassee at the governor's mansion, Florida.
Oh, there you go.
Do some real Florida shit, man. We'll do
Oh
it.
my God.
I'll fight him in an alligator pit. If you want to do some real Florida shit, me and him in an alligator pit.
There you go. We'll set you guys up in the marsh.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys, on that note, it is 1 a.m. I'm going to say goodnight. I will be back on Tuesday night with Robbie and Kendra. We're definitely going to be doing some trivia. We had a lot of fun last week. Yep. And we'll be back Tuesday at 10. Don't know if Gabe will want to do a members only tomorrow. He's been asking to go live. So we'll see if that happens. It will pop up tomorrow. But I will definitely be back on Tuesday. Check out Richard's channel, guys. Check out his articles. He's absolutely hilarious. And truth. There's nothing but the truth there. So, truth. Truth. Anyway, so I hope you guys have a great night. Congratulations to Denise. Thank you all so much. Prayers out to everybody who needs them. And have a fabulous start to your week. Good night,
everybody. God bless. Prayers. Love you.
Bye-bye.
For now.
Toodaloo.